Good evening, Inspill Glimmers, and welcome to this now almost ritualistic set review before the release of Winterspell. With us tonight, as usual, Drew,
Hello.
DeVoTeD, and Sailor. Thanks, you guys,
Hello,
for
guys.
being here with us
Hello, hello.
once again.
It's a pleasure.
Our
I hear
esteemed
that,
guests.
yes, our esteemed guest. I hear, Pierre-Marc, you've started training already with the card, so you have a little bit more knowledge than the rest of us who have looked at it but not yet started training intensely with it. So we'll rely on your knowledge and experience here tonight.
Yeah, I have done my set review last week, and there's already a bunch of cards that have changed since then. As it a lot of the time is, right? Like you evaluate the card in a certain way, but then the context of where the meta leads is shifting the card evaluations. I'm going to the CCQ in Baltimore, the Inc.
Mm.
the week
Weekend.
after release.
Okay, yeah, so you kind of need to be ready.
Ooh, yeah.
And then in preparation for the week after to go to Ghent in Belgium for the first DLC,
Yeah, I
for
actually
the next DLC.
I actually started to brew as well because we haven't spoken that much this week. But
Oh, wow, yeah, no, we haven't spoken at all.
yeah, no, I started brewing for real. Like I tried coming up with like 5, 6 new decks, but like don't have a team. Well, my team doesn't have to go to Ghent, so they are not
Yeah.
as incentivized to,
Fair enough.
We can talk. Like I can take you under my my wings.
thank you.
So let's jump right into it. But before we get to the cards themselves, for the ones that are going to influence, there's two cards that I want to mention because they are very special to me personally, but to the local community. Pumbaa Winter Warthog and Simba Playful Pouncer. Two cards that were designed, well, not designed, but illustrated by Sandy Lee, which is a Quebec local artist, local to us, that is active in
Ooh.
a few communities, including the Pokemon community and all of that, present in a lot of local Comic Cons and events. So if you're part of our local community over here in the region of Quebec, plenty of chances to meet Sandy Lee to get your cards signed. So keep that in mind if you ever go to a Comic Con or something. We have a
Oh.
local artist now.
I didn't know
today.
that.
I didn't
Simba
even
is
know.
actually one of my favorite art from the set. So
Both
that's
arts
very
are
cool.
like really,
Yes.
really good. But yeah, the Simba is so playful. I really love it.
Yeah, it's more cutie too.
Yeah. So with that out of the way, we're going in numerical order. So we
Starting strong.
starting strong with Lilo Snow Artist.
So
Wow.
that's just a throwback to the set one Lilo with like extra steps and extra willpower.
And extra inkability.
And extra incubability, yeah. So
So much better.
I don't think the card is great if there is no Pudge in the meta though. So
Okay.
like the real strength to this Lilo really is just the fact that she's a one cost. And I should also say the Lilo Rockstar shift, right? So those two things really make the one drop Lilo. And I don't think I have played like hundreds of games already, and I don't think I've quested with Lilo
for two,
more than 10 times or something. Like you do it. No, that's not true. Actually, the Ember Emerald deck does run 8 stitches, so it's relevant.
Yeah, the real
But not
craze,
the Ember Steel version.
the real craze is around the Pudge, but we'll see what that's about like a bit later.
Yeah, Pudge is crazy, and this one allows you to go Lilo, Pudge, 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 Pudge on turn 1 if you have them.
The new nut start for aggro.
that's pressure.
For Magic players, that's affinity now.
Yep.
Mm.
And then once the board is cleared, you have no cards in hand, you have nothing, but you've put pressure.
What do you mean? You have ways to refill.
No, of course. But that's new for Ember. Not used to that.
Yeah, there's more to it though. Like I'm a bit joking with the turn 1 for Pudge play. But
That's
yeah, the
green
Lilo
spell.
is just fine. It's funny because the one drop lady that we have that has exactly the same stats, same type of condition is uninkable, whereas this one isn't. But I think the Tramp are a bit stronger than the Stitches, so I think it's justified.
I think it's fair. Speaking of Pudge, so Pudge 2 drop Inkable 1/3 quest for 1, but if you have a Lilo, you can play him for free.
Free.
We love
The
free.
most problematic
Keyword ever.
keyword in all TCGs.
Yes.
Yeah, because like it seemed unassuming. I saw the card at first. I was like, yeah, whatever. Wait, that's very good.
Yeah. So, okay, so there's a few things for it, right? The first one being obviously going wide, which lets you do that quicker for Tramp 7, right? That's the first implication that this card has. Now you can play Tramp 7 on turn 3.
Yes.
Very reliably, in fact. And there's another card that also helps doing that.
Yeah,
That we're going to talk a little bit after.
the actual problem.
We're also seeing Stitch Rockstar, seeing play again.
Mm-hmm.
And this with Stitch Rockstar is very, very stupid.
Yeah, zero cost draw card.
I've seen Ember Emerald Rockstar lists play 11 characters in one turn on turn 4, I think. Absolutely, like all 4 Tramp 7 and all 4 Pudges with the Rockstar.
And that's just not a board you can easily answer to. Like, even with a new Rat the board in the format, that's too slow.
Well, and what if one of those characters is an Ursula or a Moogly, right? Or multiple Mooglies,
Yeah.
right? So this card is extremely strong. It's so unassuming also because of the drawing, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody knows who Pudge is.
It's
He
a
controls the
fish.
weather. What is this about? It's a deity?
Yeah.
It's
I had to dig a little bit on.
Did you
this
find
card.
what I
Lord.
found?
Well, Lilo feeds him sandwiches and believes that he controls the weather. Like he's a deity in Lilo's mind. So
Yes,
she sees
okay.
him as a god of weather.
So, and therefore, that's why when Zeus sing a song,
exactly, he gets buffed.
Pudge can get buffed.
It's a 3/3, and like just to come back to like the story like of Lilo thinking he's a deity controlling the weather. There's like a whole conspiracy theory with about like Moana and like he's a reincarnation of Maui, actually.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, that's like
So
really deep Disney
Lore.
and conspiracy theories.
I love it.
Let's put
Anyway,
it
this
for a
card is S tier. This is one of the best cards in the set. It's nearly broken. Yeah.
And that's an uncommon, right?
That's the best kind of broken because everyone can get their hands on it.
Yeah.
Right. That's the most concerning part of is that not only we were afraid of triple Daisy starts, now we have to be afraid of Lilo triple Pudge starts.
Yeah. Oh wow.
When Ryan, your teammate Pierre-Marc was saying we might have an aggro. No, you were saying we might have an aggro problem on Twitter.
On our hands.
Yeah. I died on turn 4.
That'll be a change of pace.
Yeah. One of the reasons was Pudge, but among other things.
Sticking on the theme of Lilo and Stitch, we have a new Stitch Carefree Snowboarder instead of
I'll let you
Surfer.
guys talk about this one a little bit more.
Sure.
Yeah.
So 4/5, cost 5 inkable, quest for 2. When you quest, if you have 2 or more other characters in play, you may draw a card. Personally, I find it's a nice thing that we get card draw in Ember now. I don't see much shells in which, like, you really want him
Well,
to
actually,
be there questing on turn like 5 or 6 and drawing a card, but
actually, you can nicely accelerate into him. If you remember the list of early Steel Song I sent you about a few days ago, like this is easily playable by turn 3-ish if you're on the draw with Angel and the cost reducing
Cool.
song.
Or Ruben and Mulan.
Yeah. And like it enables it, so you're able to actually draw cards off.
If you can ramp into it, you can definitely do something with it.
Even if you don't, right? One of the best cards in the set is the Blue Pete, and this is only slightly worse, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I love him because it's a Stitch anyways, so...
Oh, he's fairly good, I think.
And I like that he fits with the Surfer Stitch. Like it's another Surfer ball for snow.
Yes.
And have a very
Yeah,
similar
That's
ability.
so cool.
From a flavor standpoint, like... his
Now we have
Stitch,
Surfer Stitch and Snowboarder Stitch. Like,
Yeah.
What more
Will
can
we
you
have
want?
what's
Both
next?
carefree.
Skater? I want a Skater Stitch now.
Wind sailing Stitch.
Let's
The
see
limit.
what that's gonna give us.
Woo.
Pocahontas.
Wow,
The
straight
Ember
up
card that
iconic.
is- yeah. The Ember card that is completely Amethyst themed in its iconic version.
Looks like an Amethyst card at first.
Yeah, exactly what Nick has been complaining every time we see the card. He's like, "That's so amethyst. That's so amethyst."
Yeah, they've explained why they went with this in one of the
In one of the lore casts?
not the lore cast, but some the Discord stages that
The
they
Discord
do.
stage with the art
Yeah.
team? The one, I missed that
Yeah.
one.
To be
And
fair,
basically, they don't want all the yellow card to be yellow and all the red card to be red, because then you have a hard time differentiating them between each other because they all look the same.
Yeah, fair enough.
and also there might be some underlying tones that the actual naturals shift target is the purple Pocahontas, not the amber one.
Yes,
Definitely.
she's pretty much a yellow purple card actually.
Yeah,
Ember Amethyst.
We're just not doing dual ink this set, so that's just it. Just it.
Yeah, the
For anyone not watching, Pocahontas Peacekeeper, she's a 5-drop inkable Floodborn, 3/6 questing for 2, shifting for 3. And when you play her, if you shifted her, and none of your characters challenge this turn, characters can't challenge until the start of your next turn. So she is really all about that peace, quiet, and aggro.
Yeah, exactly. And notably, it also prevents you from challenging locations as well, right? So not only characters. She's quite good into a very aggressive yellow-purple aggro deck. And she's really enhanced by the fact that the 2-drop is excellent that we're going to see later in Amethyst.
Yeah, because I got a lot of mixed, I want to say, feedback about the card. Some people were telling me, like, this card is going to be problematic, it's so good. And some people were like, oh, it's just like keto with extra steps because you have to shift.
That's basically what it is, I think.
That's what we discussed when we were coming back from Richmond, so...
It's a bit better than Kida because it blocks the rush characters too, and we have a new one that's interesting. But yeah, the character that needs to shift to do their ability are unreliable. Like we had the Jasmine before, it never worked.
Yep.
So unless there's like a lot of good shift target, I'm not super scared of that card yet. But I haven't practiced it, so.
We might
But
be
they put
seeing-
two shift targets though in the set, right? So
That helps.
when you have eight shift targets, it gets more reliable, and one of them has an on-play effect, so it's kind of a good target as well.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're still seeing some of the effects of the Bucky error of when you play Floodborns, it just does it, and when they errated it, it was like, oh, if you shift it, they were like, okay, we need
Big
to
difference.
put more shift breaks onto our Floodborns. I think this might be still in that era.
Oh my goodness.
The problem
There it
card
is.
of the set,
Good
Grandmother
epic.
Willow.
You are not done seeing this card. Like, this is egregiously powerful.
And it's one that I was completely disregarding at first because I was like, sure, lantern on a lantern.
Exactly what most people say, but then you have to bring up what, like, let's just
Tramp.
read the card first for people that are not watching.
Quite literally lantern, 2 cost uninkable and ember. Once during your turn, you may pay 1 ink less for the next character you play this turn. It's a 1/2 conquest for 1. So on its face, pretty unassuming card, a Tipo buddy that gives a
A discount.
discount once a turn that is uninkable. Like on its face, it's a worse Tipo, if you ask me.
It's
Yeah,
much
I
more than
understand.
that. It's just much more than that. Just because for a lot of characters that care about the number of characters you have in play, it counts as one more. It counts as two for your green yellow tramp.
7.
Yeah, tramp 7. So it does a
Well,
whole
it
lot.
counts for Tramp 2. It counts for
Yeah,
Rockstar
Strength
Stitch.
of a Raging Fire.
like we were saying before we started rolling, Pierre-Marc was saying character is a better type than item. Just
It's better than Lantern. I still
You mean Tipo? Okay.
Yeah, I still think it's basically the yellow answer to Tipo.
Well, Tipo cuts you a card in hand. This doesn't.
Yes, this doesn't.
First.
True.
And
When
it is
this dies,
and,
you don't have the ink.
yeah, and it's an Amber, like a very aggressive shell that has a lot of cheap characters, whereas Blue doesn't have that, right? And it doesn't really make sense to play Tipo in an aggressive shelf, right?
No.
Whereas
It's
this
like there's a
plays
lot of value
very,
there
yeah,
for sure.
very nicely. It can sing, it can quest, and it also doesn't have to quest. So in the past, we had this type of effect on characters that needed to either quest or exert themselves, like Yui or Pluto. And when we saw those cards first, we were like, oh, those mana dorks, right, from Magic the Gathering. Like, we all know they're really good. They're like Llanowar Elves being and Birds of Paradise, right? Those cards we know for sure are very strong. But the issue in Lorcana is that once you tap for mana in this game Ink, well, you expose the card itself, and then they can just challenge it, and it's not reliable. Whereas in Magic, it's not working like that. When you tap a character, you just cannot block anymore, but you don't expose the character,
Cannot
right?
be attacked.
The creature.
You attack the opponent. You don't attack
Exactly.
the characters.
So now we see a real mana dork, right? And I think we're seeing the power of it, like we saw in Magic before. Now
The only question that needs to be answered, we have a lot of. We're pretty confident in the answer, but it hasn't been confirmed yet by the Ravensburger team whether or not the rebate is at any point in your turn you can play one less, or if it's the first character costs one less.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say that.
It should be
anytime.
it should be at any point you have the right to choose to pay one less once. That's how it's worded, but
technically you could hyperbolate that it says for the next character, so it should be like the first one on each turn.
It's once per turn, so
Yeah.
For once you activate it.
yeah,
But
like
Yeah.
honestly,
so that's why we're waiting on.
I
the
think it would have
official
been
memo
better
first.
if it was written for the first character you play this turn. They would nerf the card a bit, which is probably good, and it also makes it
'cause
a
then
lot
on turn
easier
two,
to
you
follow.
couldn't do like this into another.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
this-
Lantern, you need to tap, so it's easy to see, oh, I used it already or not. But this one, you don't tap, so it's gonna be a mess if you have a lot of ink. You keep drawing Grandmother. Like, okay, this one I used, but this one I didn't, and keeping track
yeah,
of this.
we're gonna need markers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
if this was first character, it would all have been fixed, and the card would have been less busted. But unfortunately, it's next, so we'll see.
Yeah. Also, the difference with Lantern is that Lantern cannot pay for itself, right? For the next Lantern, whereas this can.
This can.
This snowballs so hard.
Yep.
And so it's a lot of snowball effect. It works really well with Stitch Rockstar, as we already talked about. It works really well with Tramp 7, with Tramp 2, with Strength of a Raging Fire. It works very well with things that you want to have lots of characters in play, either to sing or to even like the old school, not the old school, but the Setchamp's Mirabelle, right? Like, she used to be really bad because it was really hard to go wide, but like with this card, it unlocks so many go wide strategies that like it's even possible. Ellie from France made a deck with purple in it where you get to sing second star to the right on turn 3, and just like go wide and wide and wide and wide and finish people off with Mirabelle, Madrigal, and like Alma Madrigal untapping your stuff, retapping your stuff with the fantastical song too. It opens up broken things, right?
I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Well, because just that, you see that face value, and like having like multiple in hands, like we were saying, it makes your ramp harder than blue sometimes, and you're going wide. Blue is not going wide when you're ramping really really hard, right?
No, exactly.
Who would have thought that a card with not just one Bucky but 2 Bucky on it would be good?
Yeah.
I think this
that
needs
meme.
2 errata now.
Actually, I think there's 3 of them.
Yeah, that's right. There's another one in the shadow.
But
3 Buckies.
I saw that edit where someone just put Bucky's face on the squirrels on the art, and I want that.
After just the fact that, like we said, how good that card is, there's answers to that card, right? Obviously, Fire the Cannons could be one.
Tipo 3 in Ruby, if Ruby ever makes a comeback. I said Tipo Sisu.
Yeah. Also, the new Angel that we're going to see later in Steel, she also has that ability. But really, the fact that it doesn't exert itself is...
And you can
we
use the
see
effect
how it shifts the power of the card.
I think this is one of the biggest missed opportunities of this set, and I've heard other people comment on it as well.
Hi.
It's a nice enchanted, but it should have been the set champ card matching the art of the Stitch, so that we could have had the pair. It would have been like so much better.
Now we want the whole band, right? Who's the singer? Who plays the bass? Like, we want it all.
Yeah, Powerline can be the singer. I'm okay with that.
Is that a deck idea?
Ooh.
Ember, Ruby, Powerline?
With songs, for sure.
So this is a 6 cost Lilo Rockstar 3/5 quest for 2 shift 4, and whenever she quests, you play a character with cost 2 or less from your discard for free.
Again, for free.
And there's but she's expensive.
There, you can exert that character, draw a card, and repeat the process.
Yeah, Pete, right? Tramp 2, Moogly, Ursula, right? There's so many good utility or very, very good card that costs 2 or less.
You can bring back Go-Go and only play 2 for the effect.
Exactly. Yeah, I've done that already. It's fun. And then you just challenge with it, deal more damage into their open characters, and just replay it again. And like, very cool card.
More value. I love the design. I like that it matches the Stitch Rockstar design of...
And they go well together.
Yeah.
2 or less. Yeah.
The 2 or less, they're an Ember. They synergize in the sense that she can take it, you can exert it for Stitch Rockstar.
Yeah. All of that is binded with the 1-drop, right? That quest for 1 more if you have Stitch. So they really thought about it to have like a deck that can make those 2 work together.
And they also have, I don't think it's as good, but they also have the Steel Stitch that attacks for more if you have a Lilo, I think.
Yes, it's a 6/2.
Yeah.
Which costs 2 is the biggest issue about him.
Yeah, you kind of have to curve them out if you want them to be any good. But
I mean, that Stitch into the Fabled Lilo is a really big challenger the turn she comes down.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but if you need to.
That's what I said to people. Like, I don't know how good she'll be, but I'm pretty sure the stocks on the Fabled Lilo will go up. We have a lot of aliens in this set. I think there will be some value to be found eventually with that.
Yeah. The issue with the Fabled Lilo really is that her stats and lore is really low, so she's going to be really good into aggro, and then she's going to be terrible into anything that you're trying to go under with, like Blurple,
of course,
Blue Steel, or any blue decks.
Yeah.
Nani, the stage manager. More card selection, I guess. It's card draw for
It's
or Ember.
card draw.
It is card draw. When you
So-
play, so tree drop,
Go ahead.
3/3, quest for 1. When you play her, you look at the top 4 card of your deck. You may reveal a character card with cost 2 or less and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Guess who cares about characters with cost 2 or less?
Rockstars. She's
Yeah,
the stage manager to Rockstars.
Yeah, and one of the problem with Ember Seal was always to have you found your dock or have you not, and this is a way to find it more reliably. So that's one of our best case. I've played Spooky Sight a lot this set already to deal with those really good go wide Ember decks, and if they top deck Nani after, or they kept it after a Spooky Side, I know I'm done, right? Because I've done a Spooky Side and they go Nani, Doc, Tiana, Daisy, and I've just board wiped them, and suddenly they have 6 new lore across 4 characters, and I'm like, whoa.
So I didn't set you back at all, right? Right?
When the aggro decks have that much drop power, it's scary.
I know it, and it's in a way it's a second lady as well, because you can, if you have the Willow or whatever, you can still turn 3 go Nani into a 1-drop, and you've basically just
Build your own lady.
build your own lady. Yeah.
Yeah, the pudge for free makes it more.
On top of that, the fudge for free.
So
Pudge for free.
even
Ruben.
more good cards in Ember because we needed those, right?
I mean, at least this one doesn't really fit the team of the
Yeah.
others, right?
No, I think you have to build differently. Like you're
That's
in
an
other
Ember Ruby
colors,
kind of
probably.
card.
Yeah, exactly. Ember Ruby.
Yes.
But Ruben, he's a sandwich expert. He's a 2-drop inkable 1/3 that you can exert to remove 2 damage from chosen character of yours, and for each 1 damage removed this way, you pay 1 less for the next character you play this turn. So
The thing people were really excited about was playing the Mulan injured soldier on turn 1, this on 2, activating him on Mulan, and then shifting on turn 3 into the elite archer.
That's
is-
like dream scenario. If your aggro opponent doesn't see it coming, like
Only works once.
they're gone.
if they don't see the big neon sign with flashing
Exactly.
lights that says, "Hey, this is what I'm gonna do," it's pretty good.
But you know what? Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, because
Right?
you're still gonna put it over their head and be like, "Yeah,
Exactly. You just don't do it until they eventually pull the trigger, right? So you need to have pressure, some sort, right? Because if not, they're just gonna go go wide until they have 20 and just win.
But there's answers in Ruby. We're gonna talk about that, which
Yes.
might help mitigate a little bit.
My issue really is the redundancy of that happening, right? You only really have Mulan that really pairs nicely into the curve. We're gonna talk about a Ruby card that also self-damage, but it's a 2 cost, so it's really not as clean of a curve. So, like, this is really good, but if we had one more self-damage 1-drop, then I would be looking at like a very cool, like a very good curve. But as it is, I think it's a cool idea, but the lack of redundancy is just gonna make it too cute, I think.
I think so as well. But the art is pretty cute. So
Well, the sandwiches look great for
I'm
sure.
hungry now.
Yeah. But we've seen that one.
yeah, we have seen that one. Pocahontas Peacekeeper, Bambi, Ethereal Fawn. So 4-drop inkable 3/5 quest for 1 boost 2. It's a whisper. And during your turn, when it exerts, you reveal a number of cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards put under Bambi. You put all revealed character into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order.
So again, some kind of pseudo, I want to say, card draw. Like you get all the characters, right? From what
Yep.
you reveal.
So
It's-
let's say you have all characters in your deck.
Yeah, like Ruby Ember used to have when Mufasa, or as I call him, T Mufasa, the Simba Whisper. If you're in all character deck, well, you draw a whole lot.
I mean, yes, and it also works with an effect that is strictly Ruby, which is radiating character. Because notably, this card says when it exerts.
Yes.
So it can be challenge, through singing, through questing. So you can do it multiple turns with the Lilo from set 8, from LeFou and Raya,
Olympus.
and all those Ruby effects that lets you untap. So you could go nuts. But the biggest issue with that card is the cost of the boost.
Yeah.
I think we're realizing that there's a huge difference between Boost 1 and Boost 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the card that has more than Boost 1 needs to be really, really good.
Yeah,
the only one seeing play really is Cheshire,
Cat.
right?
Yeah, Cat makes up for the Boost 2 more.
Yeah, because
than
it's board control. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insanely powerful.
But still,
So I'm
I
not
like
sure.
the design. I like them.
Yes.
I like them going into when it exerts instead of when it quests. That's a lot more options.
And it has a lot of deck building restriction based on how powerful is the effect.
No, that's a very well balanced card in a not so
Maybe
balanced environment right now.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Very mid range, very fair, but like it's well statted, right? Very well statted.
Mm.
But if you get that in your pre-release, it's probably pretty decent to keep it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like we were talking earlier about ramping into what was the character I was talking about? The Stitch that draws 2 cards when he quests. So that's kind of the same situation here. Like you have 2 boosts. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the issue, right? You're cheating out the character, but then you still don't have much ink to get the boost, right? So your boost is half of your ink for the turn.
Yeah.
Or even like 33% if you're on turn 3, right? 66%.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Woo-hoo.
Angel. So the first of the underdogs. New mechanic for this set, the underdog mechanic. So we're gonna see all 6 of them, I think, today. But when we have a card with underdog, they're usually they're all 2 costs. But if it's your first turn and you're not the first player, you pay 1 less to play this character. So she's a 2-cost inkable that you can actually play for 1 if you're on the draw. And it's your first turn, and she's a 2/2 singer 3 that quests for 1. So basically Cinderella if you're on the draw.
Yeah, she's by far in my opinion, the best underdog of the bunch. She's the one that will see play like uncontested. People are wanting to jam this into their decks to have a singer 3 on turn 1.
Because there's a new song that costs you that's pretty good. I'm just curious to see if this is gonna see play in Infinity with Cinderella. Like, do you want to play 8 1-drop that could sing for 3? It's gonna be interesting. But
given how important it is to get your singer for your turn 2 strength or Let the Storm, it might be viable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a question of critical mass. Maybe you're not playing the full set of her in Infinity alongside your Cinderella. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in
I'm
cards,
not sure either. This is a good card for sure.
Yeah.
If we had Let the Storm Rage on, we would not be talking about how Willow is broken, right? Like, because this would answer Willow.
This would answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but right now it's not last year, right?
Yeah. We don't have the same power of songs that we used to, right? So this is not as strong, but as Cinderella, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Raging Storm. So new board wipe in Ember for 8, uninkable, and not a song. So we definitely nerfed Be Prepared here.
Yeah.
And I think
I don't know that we needed to nerf Be Prepared.
I
you
don't know that we
protected
did.
from Ursula, but that's it.
That's about it.
Yeah,
and in colors that won't really benefit as much.
I would argue that shifting it from like a song to action is barely like a downside.
We've barely sang it ever.
Like it was really good when we did, but like singing with the 7th cost, right, is like prohibitive. But the huge difference is the 8. Like
1 turn later.
one
too
turn
late.
later is just such a big difference, right? It means that this is more of an anti mid range card than an anti
This
aggro
is an
card.
answer to purple steel more than it is an answer to
And Blurple,
and
I
blurple.
would
Yeah,
say this
Well,
is really good against Blurple.
to be fair, like Be Prepared was also kind of the same. Like, yes, it was answering some aggro strategies, but generally you were more happy to play your Be Prepared against mid-range strategies,
Yeah,
faster
for sure.
mid-range strategies. So I think it's kind of the same. It's just made they just made it like it's a cost that makes it so much worse. Like the fact that it is a song or not is debatable. Of like, oh, it doesn't get caught by Ursula or whatever. But yeah, the one more in Amber, which like Amber wants to go fast on Ink, but only for characters. So
Yeah, this doesn't go into the Willow
this
decks
has
at
to
all,
be
for
like
sure.
Amber Sapphire almost,
Yeah,
like purely.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like
yeah,
I worked on the deck for this to be like online as quick as possible, and even there, like it's not something you can hope for to have in a timely fashion against aggro. You have to either run it alongside Spooky Side
Mhm.
to have like, and then you get overclogged with Rat the board sometimes.
yeah.
So it's
It's hard.
You could play this in green yellow for the fun and with the Webby and Yago. Yago can make this a 6 cost action, so you do it 2 turns
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah. The biggest issue is that we were using Be Prepared in two different ways, right, back then. So either in red purple, where we would just delay the game until Be Prepared by bouncing our own stuff, controlling the board while not losing value, right, drawing cards off rabbit and et cetera, et cetera. And then we would play locations, right, to really punish people from putting characters into play to deal with them and then wiping
Ratting
the
the
board.
board.
And then in Shark, we were doing that with Manners. And in Tamatoa's deck, we were just like delaying the game until we can Tamatoa Dime, right? Now, there's not that much things that we can do with this, right? Um, but I found a few ways, and one of them is Sapphire cards that we'll talk later on. Uh, but the biggest issue really is the uninkable in that deck, right? Because if aggro wasn't that good, we would not need to run Spooky Side, and I think that deck would be excellent.
mm,
But as it is, you need to run Spooky Side, which is just terrible into the other decks, and then you cannot afford to play as many Raging Storm into your deck, and this payoff that we're going to talk about later. So I think it's a very good card. And I think we might not see it play too much this set, but once this set 5 through 8 rotates out, we have a new meta, right? Daisy is not there anymore. Like
the dogs
things
are
might
out.
change. Yes, exactly. We might see this being a really, really strong card.
That's good to know. And yeah, if locations are ever relevant again, we might
Yes.
see it play more of a role. We were talking earlier, Patrick, you mentioned it about a good 3-cost song that could be sang by Angel.
They even slapped
Akud,
Angel on it.
Akude Moody. 3-cost uninkable song. You pay 2 less for the next character you play this turn. Draw a card.
It's great. I just think it's great. Like I said earlier, I built a Steel Song deck around this card basically, and it just feels really great to be able to play your 5-drop on turn 3 when you're on the draw, and you just feel like you have an enormous brain.
This
My
is like Friends on the other side on steroid. You lose a card for ramping faster, and an inkable doesn't really matter because you never want to ink that card. Like you want to sing it very early, and you're gonna
It
draw an ink from
replaces
it.
itself.
The draw
I
card is
think
the
the
key
fact that
part.
it replaces itself is the big part here, because we've had
Well,
just in time in set 1 that
Zero
zone,
to
like,
Hero,
for
right?
yeah.
Never saw play almost because it was like it needed a whole new world and it was just too high roll of a setup. This replacing itself really makes the card, and it stacks right in multiples. If you have like 2 singers,
because then you can actually draw into whatever you're going to play. Whereas if you were later in the game and you drew just in time, it's like, yeah, you can play a 5-drop for free. My hand's
Yeah.
empty. That's my top deck.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so bad. The high roll with this is if you play Angel on the draw and then
Yeah,
Ursula
sing
on
that
2,
turn 2.
you can sing both on turn 3 to play a 7-drop. That's kind of fun.
Nice.
I think this is not as strong as the other yellow cards that we've highlighted to be really, really powerful, but it's a very cool card. It has maybe applications infinity, and it's good but not broken. I think it's
definitely
good card.
playable. That's what I want to
Yes,
say.
for sure. Yeah, no, it's good.
Now, more card draw for Ember. And more conditional card draw.
Yeah.
This one I would have loved to be a song, though, to be absolutely fair.
It would have been
But-
so broken as a song.
Yeah, but, you know.
No.
No.
With Tremps.
It's very dangerous. Like, even here, like, the costs are real. It's not, you can sing it, it costs 4 and it's
It's
unnickable.
so it's a, yeah.
And you
Four-drop
need to have a
unnickable
board.
action that for the rest of the turn, whenever one of your character quests, you may draw a card. So those are very important words in decks that want to go wide, but at a cost at which aggro decks will probably find just a tad prohibitive for an uninkable card.
You're probably not going to run the full playset, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think for me this is a very high ceiling, extremely low floor type of card. So I hate those designs usually, and I'm looking to build around Wisdom of the Willow. But every time my opponent will successfully set up for this and it will work, I'll be
Pissed.
Yeah, no, understandable. Oana means family. So Rapunzel on an action
It
and on
feels,
steroids.
Yeah, well, it feels so strong that now you're not even, you don't have the cap of 3 damage. Now it reads, remove all damage from chosen character of yours. Draw a card for each 1 damage removed this way. So you're like, you're playing it on chunkier dudes and you're just drawing like 4, 5, 6 and like...
I've drawn 6 so far is the max that I've drawn with it.
Not bad for a 3-drop.
For a 3-cost card.
Yeah.
Yes.
People,
That
I
also negates the cat the turn afterwards.
I heard someone say to me, why isn't that a song? I'm like, are you a maniac?
Dude. Come on.
Did you want the card to cook you breakfast as well?
Yeah, please.
Imagine, right, with Angel and Ursula openings that I was talking about, you just go into their 3 strength, sing it with Angel, draw 3, like that'd be.
You have Mother God on
and
Infinity
play.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that I think the card is very well balanced because yes, it has a higher ceiling than Rapunzel in terms of card draw, but like not having a 2-lore quester that
Yeah,
can
you don't
sing
have a
or
1/5
quest
quest for 2.
is huge, right? So I think it's actually worse than Rapunzel, and probably more balance actually.
But it's still
And-
nice to see the effect come back to Ember.
I think
It will help
it
yellow
doesn't
red.
suit aggro decks all that much
No.
because they're not looking to play high.
I mean, arguably, Rapunzel was the strongest Ember card ever. Right?
Yes.
So, this being worse than Rapunzel is not saying
Yeah.
a lot.
I could
It's-
see.
It's a lot worse.
Yeah.
think.
It gets removed
Yeah.
by Mowgli.
But
Like, I could see
being compared to Rapunzel,
Ember
I think
Sapphire,
it's
like, want to do this with Thunderbolt, but that's about it. Like, that's the...
I think it's really good in the control decks that I was alluding about in
Okay.
Ember
Agreed.
Sapphire.
fine. Agreed.
Because you play Stitch, you play Hades,
And you,
among other big...
You,
You
get
don't
to
have the
draw
things-
a lot.
yeah.
And you play Isla Nui as well, right? Because she's a princess, she works with Cinderella. And you can Isla Nui your opponent's character to draw 2 more, right?
Yeah, this is better in non-purple deck
True.
because you don't have the cat and you need to heal for the go-go. So, yeah, blue-yellow is probably
Yeah.
the best for this card.
Yeah. And it's not a 4-of in that deck. So good news is that right? Like for legendary,
'Cause it's
that
a
might not be a
legendary.
4 of in any deck. It is probably not going to cost a ton of
Yeah, it's not going to be
money.
a $60 card,
No.
No.
which is good.
I love the Enchanted, by the way.
Oh, the Enchanted.
Then
We're
it's
going to
gonna
talk
be
about the
Cute.
Enchanted arts in a bit, but I really like it's hit or miss for some people, but for me, I really like the children book style that they went with this.
I'm
This
the
set.
people he's alluding to.
Yes, you're the people I'm alluding to.
We talked about Ember a lot, but the other colors are going to be a little bit less.
There's not as much in the other colors than
like
in
Ember is by far the best color of the set.
Yeah.
They're winning the set for sure. Alice, 4 costing Cabal, 4/4, quest for 1, boost for 2. She's a Whisper. And when she quests, put all cards put under her into your hand.
I think people are over evaluating this card.
We talked about the boost too earlier, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like it is in competition with a lot of very good cards as a 4-drop. Like with Genie, that just straight up draws you a card, is more aggressive. Okay, it's not a 4/4, but like you don't have to work for the card. And here you have to work so hard for that card. I don't think the 4/4 body and the inkability is quite like justifiable.
No, unless there's a reliable way to put multiple cards under her every turn, and then it's not just to draw 1. Like
You would have to be either in blue or in green for that, because like the 2 legendaries do that. But
It's too much setup.
yeah,
And we talked about the meta going faster. So whenever you analyzing a card that you're like, okay, this is good value, but it's a bit slow, well, you can immediately put it in
Scratch
the
it up.
binder.
yeah,
Because you're like, all right, I don't have time to do these things.
ain't nobody got time for that.
Exactly. Sorry, Alice. See you later.
This one's better.
So let's go into Tigger then. Bouncing all the way. When you play this character, you may return chosen character, item, or location with cost 2 or less to their player's hand.
At least
So
here
that's
you
either
see,
you or your opponent.
Yeah.
yeah. At least you see here a 4-drop that kind of has more impact on play. You know.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
it does something, and like the body isn't bad. You still have a 4/3.
Okay. At best,
Yeah.
right? It's actually below average a little bit, right? Because you get a lot of 3/4s and at 3, right? So this trades down.
Yeah, I was comparing like strictly with the Alice we just talked about.
Yeah, she's a 4/4/4/4.
Yeah.
But the effect is quite strong, right? You can rebuy your docks if you're putting that into your Amethyst Steel. You can bounce your opponent's Willow, so they have to replay it and
Reset
might slow them down.
locations if you need to. I don't know. Like locations are probably not gonna be that much of a thing.
Locations that cost 2 or less are meh.
Yeah,
There's not many of them.
You can
they're
bounce the
basically just
lantern.
yeah,
You can bounce the lantern,
very
which is
annoying.
extremely obnoxious to
Yeah.
replay.
That's a big tempo loss if you're against.
The uninkables, right?
Yeah.
The 2-drop uninkables are really like annoying to replay. It's almost like you've got time warped right away.
time walked.
Sorry, time walked. What did I say? Yeah, it's sinkable. The biggest issue I have with the card is that, again, competition over the 4-drops and amethysts, right? Like how many can we pack?
Yeah.
Well, at least in Blurple, you
This
go
one is pretty-
from 2 to 4, so you need a lot of 4s in Blurple, so that helps. But for the other amethysts, yeah.
Sure, but even there, like you already had like so many good options that this is maybe just a bit below the bar of what you want to. Like if it's utility and you have only one,
I think it's definitely playable in a very assertive type of meta where you just want to tempo them out.
yeah.
Yeah, in worst case
So-
scenario, if you're missing your ink, you can always bounce your Tipo and ink it.
Sure.
Isis van der Chill, Ice Queen of Saint Canard. Wow, that's a mouthful. 4-drop uninkable 4/4. When you play her, exert chosen opposing characters.
Another 4-drop.
Yeah, but
Linkable.
All the 4-drop.
uninkable, half of Elsa, because it doesn't have rush, doesn't have
That's like a
evasive.
third of Elsa.
Yeah, a quarter of Elsa.
Yeah. It's crazy how good Elsa is when you look at that card.
Yeah.
But still, having this option a turn earlier for as long as you've put some characters on board, like Rafiki or Palace Guard, something like that, is quite strong.
Yeah. This feels like a
Stop
purple
aggro.
steel card,
If
not
if
a
aggro
purple card.
becomes really
Yeah, Purple Seal. It's a bit unreliable in purple.
Yeah, it's probably
Because if you didn't play Rafiki, basically this card doesn't do anything on turn 3, right?
yeah, that's what I said. It's probably just purple steel for that card that has good early game with Calhoun or the one drop that attacks for 3, or even
Where you want to
Lexington.
curve out.
All
we were
right.
talking about the shift target for Pocahontas earlier. There she is, Pocahontas following the wind. Whenever this character quests, you gain lore equal to chosen exerted character's lore. She's a 2-drop uninkable 3/2, and herself quests for 1. Now,
Okay, so this has one of the most aggressive starts in the game right now. So you don't even need a big setup. You go Daisy, Pocahontas, into the other Ember of Pocahontas we didn't talk about. It's
yeah,
a 2/5 for
think when I
3.
replaced for the enchanted, I didn't put the.
Oh,
right
okay.
one.
It's easy. It's a 2/5 for 3 inkable. When she comes into play, she gets +1 lore to another character. And so I didn't like it at first, but since you can give +1 to the Daisy, she quests for 3.
And then you
And
quest
And now
that.
this
for 4.
quest for 4.
Yeah,
So
It's
you go to 9.
explosive.
You go to 9 on turn 3 with only 3 characters, right? So you still have a hand.
and then
of
you
cards.
shift the Pocahontas, and they can't challenge you the turn after.
Yeah.
That's really obnoxious and really explosive, so...
And it's a princess, right? So if you build towards that, you can have Aurora playing this plus something else on turn 2, right? So this is kind of a really good aggro deck as well. The biggest issue with the deck is that there's a better aggro deck in the format, in the form of dogs.
Yeah. Like,
If they are under the CU, you're cooked. But you can really go fast on the play and maybe win, right? Or if they have Tramp, you're also in trouble, Tramp 2. So I think that's really what maybe is going to keep this deck in check. But it also have other ways to be good in other... Just add this to any of your purple deck and suddenly you have a clock, right?
Yeah.
Against the control decks.
and you were mentioning
even
Daisy.
against- Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, you were mentioning Daisy, but also there's also the Miko that is a 2-quester for as a 1-drop. So you're staying
Yes.
purple. So
Yeah, staying purple.
and you don't even have to play the 3-drop Cinderella. Then it just opens up other color possibilities to your builds. Some people were talking about the purple
The burn deck?
green purple burn deck with this as a like early engine, which is not that crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I was gonna say is, one of the important things for me on this card is also that it's not another chosen exerted characters of yours. So
Exactly.
it can also help you keep pace against an aggro deck where, oh sure, they're questing, but you can quest, steal their lore, and then banish their characters. So you're even keeping up the pace with the threads they're putting down while you're putting a wider board and challenging and removing their threats.
And her body isn't bad. Like a 3/2/4/2 is not horrible.
It's not something that your
It's-
typical aggro deck will want to go just like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Smack her
absolutely.
up,
She's
yeah.
kind of hard to get rid of. She reminds me of Diablo from Ruby, from Fable.
Yeah.
Is it Fable? Yes.
Yeah, it's fabled.
And I think she could also be good in that deck, right? Because suddenly Ruby Amethyst, right? One of the issue that it had last set was that, yes, it was really good into aggro, but then it didn't have as much of a good clock into the control decks. But now that if you put that on top of Diablo, suddenly you have like a bunch of 2-lore questers, right? Maybe you can go under the control decks.
Speaking of Miko, so we've already mentioned him. We're going to go fairly quick, but he's a 1-drop uninkable, evasive 1/1, questing for 2. So something we haven't seen yet, but at the end of
That'd
the
be
turn,
broken if it would not have a downside, by the way.
if we didn't put the
Holy.
last line of text
Obviously.
there, it would be a little bit broken. But at the end of the turn, if he is exerted, you choose and discard a card, or you banish him. So
Yeah, on the play, you get through your hand real fast.
yes, you better have a 2-cost Lilo to drop to him to replay afterwards,
Yeah.
or else he's gonna burn through it. Like, he's really good for Amethyst Emerald Burn, because you just want to draw 2-3 cards a turn, so you probably
care
have
that
the
much.
spare cards at the end, but
He's good if you have the Chromicon, but the games where you don't draw the Chromicons, it's extremely
it's gonna
bad.
be-
You'll
terrible.
need Show Me More very, very quick to be able
That's
to
the issue with the deck. If it doesn't have the Chromicon, it doesn't do anything.
Yep.
It puts more emphasis on that, so I'm not sure
Just a
how good that is.
just a cute thing. It just says that if he's exerted, not if he quested.
Yeah.
So
You can just ult.
Red has ways of like untapping him. So like you could
Sure.
go like turn 1 this, turn 2 quest with it, LeFou, and like you're
Ready
not
him.
Sure.
discarding. It's just cute, but
yeah.
It is pretty cute. Like, I'd rather play a 2-lore quester on 2 instead, but
yeah. I'm just mentioning that this is something you're able to do
yeah,
in
good. Yeah,
a
good
vacuum.
catch.
Tinkerbell Snowflake Collector, the set championship card of the set, 3-cost 3/3 1 quest. If you have 4 or more cards in your hand, she gains evasive, and if you have 7 or more cards in your hand, she quests for 4.
Basically, it's
That-
written
that's a
draw
pipe dream.
all the cards. Draw all the cards.
It's
I
pretty
think this
bad.
is bad.
It's a really cute design. I like that they tried it, but yeah,
Maybe in
don't
the
see a
world
world.
without demonos and dogs and stuff, but right now we want to MTRN and play a lot of stuff. So having 7 card, like, probably
yeah,
losing.
you could play it in Jafar Wheel in Infinity, I guess.
And again,
You don't need it to win.
I know.
Exactly.
and
If
that's
you've
a-
drawn that, like, are you already winning?
And the other thing is like, again, they put this as the set champ promo. Like, it's cute, it's iconic, it's Tinkerbell, whatever, but it's not a good card that will see a lot of play. And that's what they kind of tried to tell us when they revealed the Maleficent Dragon for Fable, the set champ, of like, oh, we're trying to put better cards now for the set
And
champ.
then-
And,
And then
Womp
Daisy
womp.
Tinkerbell, both unplayable, are like,
yeah, it just goes
Womp
womp
womp.
womp.
Genie, Magical Researcher, 3-cost Inkable 3/4, quest for 1, boosts 1. He's a Whisper, and when he gets +1 lore for each card under him.
Build your own quester.
Yeah, that can be targeted by Pocahontas.
Mm-hmm. Well, say
this has the best boost attribute, right? It's
Yep.
boost 1.
Yep.
In Amethyst standoff, right? As we know happens quite often. Nobody wants to quest and give Cheshire Cat value. You just pay your 1, accumulate cards under him, quest for 8, bounce it, profit. Like, I don't know. Like, this card is certainly
it's a consideration.
it's pretty good. There's a lot of potential to it, right? You need the right deck and the right setup. But I've quested for 4, protected it, and quested for 5 on the following turn, and proceeded to win the game with.
I mean, we were still somewhat happy to play the steel genie, the one that gained evasive on your turn, the dragon form one. Now this is
Yeah.
just way better.
This is attack evasive, but this is more for the slow game where nobody
It's
quests.
gonna
Yeah.
be more aggressive all of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boost
and
one
it
is-
can still sing songs and, you know,
Has the
rumble
same-
if,
has the-
if you have to.
So
It's a good ink sync. You have 1 ink spare at the end of turn, just boost. And at some point
Yep.
it becomes the biggest threat on the board, even though it's just a 3-drop.
Exactly, right?
That's
You're like,
definitely-
all right, they played a Dumbo, but like, which one am I taking care of now?
Yeah.
You know?
The cat, the genie, or the or the Dumbo.
You're like,
Everything's
oh
a
my
threat.
goodness. Everything's a threat now.
Anna, Suiting Sister. So one of the legendaries in Amethyst, she's a 5-cost inkable, 5/5 questing for 1. But the way to shift her is if a card left a player's discard this turn, this card gains Shift 0. Shift 0 is free. We like free. And whenever this character quests, you may gain lore equal to the lore of character card in your discard. If you do, put that card on the bottom of your deck. All right, so how do we get cards out of discards?
Well,
the only
the
reason,
1-drop Ana, 2-drop Ana.
the only reason it's in the list of cards we're talking about is like, whoop-de-doo. The purple legendaries are not broken this set.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Like, it's a whole lot of text saying, don't do much.
So it would be really good if we had broken 5-cost songs to sing early on. So I wonder which type of card I would allude to, but I don't think they exist in Core Constructed.
Yeah, no.
You have good songs, but not broken. That's the thing.
Well,
there's a blue one.
There's a blue and a red one I can think of.
Steel one.
Yeah. But in the meantime, the Space Cows are here. I don't know why you put it on the list, but like
Cows!
Sure.
Cows!
No, it's Space Cows, like
with the great Illuminary on the back.
in the background.
It's gonna be playing
I'll
sealed.
play that every time in sealed if I get it, no matter if it fits the curve or not. I don't care. I'm gonna play the cows, but that's probably the only place.
Don't play 1-drop if you want to play the cow.
No, I'm not playing 1-drop. I'm just playing cows.
Okay, got it.
7 cows.
Christopher Robin. So the Amethyst underdog. So if it's your first turn, you're not the first player. You pay 1 instead of 2 to play him. He's a 1/3 questing for 2. So good little aggro card for a 1/3 costing 1 if you're on the draw.
This is very good.
Doing a Daisy impression on the draw.
Exactly, right? Without giving cards, being inkable.
Because aggro are usually very bad on the draw, so this is gonna help a lot for that case.
It's
a very, very good card, I think.
It's a good way to take back like the tempo of the game. It's actually just great tempo.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I like that card. It's my not my style, but I like that they're doing that. I'm happy to see a little bit of a return to aggro from Amethyst. At the beginning of the game, they were really, really one of the aggro callers, and it kind of faded in recent sets. So nice to see them going back to it a little bit.
Amethyst always.
I wonder what's the implications, in the deck building of the curve, right? And Amethyst Steel, right? Do you count it as a 1-drop, as a 2-drop?
It's most of the time a 2-drop. Like even on the draw, it's only the first turn, so you're gonna pay 2 a lot for this.
Exactly, but it's interesting.
But is it just ink at that point?
Exactly, we're gonna ink it anyway, right?
Lumpy, the playful Heffalump.
I thought it was Dumbo at first. So when they left and evasive.
It's a 6/5 evasive question 2, costing 6 inkable.
This is a monster in limited, and also it's almost strictly better than TikTok from last set.
Yeah. Well, TikTok had that huge, massive butt of 7, but whatever.
Sure.
Whatever. You're gonna take down.
This is good enough.
Yeah, but there's no Zeus in core, so we're good.
And yeah, it quests for 2, which is the big difference.
That and also is gonna take down stuff actively.
It take down Hades.
Taking down
so,
Hades.
I don't know. It's worth considering.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Sing Second Stars. This one's good.
Sven, the Leaping Reindeer, 4-drop uninkable, 2/3 with Rush and Challenger +3, so basically a 5/3 the terms he comes in, and evasive.
This guy has everything.
Yeah.
Except
all the keywords.
So
but
we
he
bashed
doesn't tap anything when he answers, so like it's
thank God.
I mean, like, we bashed on all the other 4-drops earlier. I think this one is probably the strongest at face value.
Yeah. Yes, that's why he's uninkable. But it's funny. It's typical week 1 fashion. I have took down a brave little prince shifted with this on curve. My opponent just scooped.
Ay, ay, ay.
It attacks for a lot. Five is
5 is a
very
lot.
big, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna take daisies for days.
It's gonna take a lot of genies also.
Yeah.
Also, well,
Good.
at least one, right?
Yeah.
Before it's probably get Elsa away.
Return
But
afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
But if it
this is
doesn't, you just cat and rush again.
yeah. This being uninkable is kind of a liability, obviously, though, because you have Genie already. And so that means maybe you'll have to ink your Dumbos because
Because
You
there's
kinda
you're
a
have
stuck
real
with
big
uninks.
choice in putting him there, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of have to pick your lane of like, oh, do I want to like start aggressing the lore total or aggressing the board with this?
Yeah, board control. Which I think means that he's certainly not a 4 of, but like if your aggro deck needs to respect it because you have two copies of that in your blurple deck, it's kind of really annoying for them, right? Because
Yeah.
it slows their game down.
Yep.
Yeah, and aggro without
Yeah.
evasive have trouble to finish it up, so you always have target for cat next turn.
Exactly.
Dice
But
Horseman
it gets
Strike.
under the sea just like the others, though.
Oh yes, come out and fight. A card that I was really not expecting, but I really like the design of. I like what it implies, what it enables. I don't know how much we're gonna see out of it, but being able to bring down an Ursula, Whisper of Vanessa back to the ground, to remove some of the value from those genie in the standoffs and from the cat who is about to be bounced or whatever.
It's
It's an interesting card, like interesting design that they printed. A little sad that they did it in purple again.
well, I'll call back to what Pierre-Marc said like a bit earlier about the 4 drops. If you find something to be a bit too slow, which I find this to be a bit too slow, like 2 is a lot to commit for an action that doesn't do much. Okay, it replaces itself at least. So you might have like that argument of like, okay, at least I'm not just pitching a card into the trash for that. But I think it's way too slow to be actively good.
I think the power level goes up dramatically also, and maybe we've seen Hypnotic String like in the last few sets, but I think those type of cards are going to see less and less play with the power level going up. And
I don't think we're going to see much of it in the meta, but I'm happy that they explored the design space and that
I have a counter to what they are designing.
If we end up in what we were saying earlier, the two people with the genies facing each other and boosting one every turn and boosting their cats and just waiting for the right moment.
If anything, I think this you might see those played a bit in limited like next weekend, but that'll be the best application
that'll
in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't expect to see like a ton of it, but we see the detectives back, the Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Also,
there's a ghost in the back.
Yeah, but it's not. It really looks like. No, it's not a ghost from the Haunted Mansion. For a second, I thought it was a ghost from the Haunted Mansion, and the implications from that were massive. But no, I think it's a different kind of ghost.
Okay.
My bad. Colors of the Wind. 4-cost song. Each player reveals the top card of their deck. Draw a card for each different ink symbol on card revealed this way. So minimum of 1, maximum of 4 is basically how this works.
Yeah, and on average too.
Yeah.
So this is
on average 2, but if the meta is still all purple all the place and this is a purple card, maybe it's 1.5. But it's just funny that they print that card in a set that doesn't have any dual ink. I feel like that's a missed opportunity, but this can get better and better with like future set if they had more.
I think they'll reprint the dual inks in the future, so
they should. At least Into the Unknown is already pretty good, and the Cobra is already pretty good. So
and Tramp.
Yeah.
If Ember Steel comes back, Bolt is also there.
Rhino.
Rhino, right? Not Bolt, Rhino.
What I like is the thematic of this, right? Because the song, it talks about how the world needs diversity and we should embrace it, and the card is about meta diversity,
Yeah.
right? And I think we won't see as much of a big dominance from purple as we've seen in set 9 and 10, right?
Which
I
makes
think the
this
other
card
colors
better.
got better.
At least there's
Exactly, right? Yes, but my biggest issue with it is that we already have a book that does this for relatively the same
Yeah, the book
close cost.
guarantees 2 cards.
So why a color gets to have like
more draw.
options of 2 different, very, very similar cards when the other decks just struggle to have any sorts of card draw?
The Amethyst propaganda, man. It's
Yeah,
someone
it's
at
strong.
Ravensburger is.
Yeah, it's strong.
Speaking about strong, the card that is getting a lot of people scared, apart from Grandma Willow, Mulan Resourceful Recruit. 2-drop 1/4 without any lore symbol of her own. But when she quests, she gains lore equal to her strength to a maximum of 6.
God bless no lore symbol.
She can gain some. There's ways.
Yeah, she gains 1 by herself, right? Unless her strength was reduced. But with Tramp 2, she can gain 6 pretty often.
Yep.
The issue with
support.
Yes, and they've printed a Ruby card that's the song from Mulan, and that gives 5 strength. But the card doesn't do anything else, so and Ruby Green is among the worst color pair. So I like where they went with this. What I don't like is that the card is very medium until it's broken, right? There's kind of like barely any middle ground.
Yeah.
And you're gonna lose turn 4 to these type of high rolls, and it's gonna feel bad. And also the player putting this into their deck will kind of have like a mediocre turn 2 play a lot of the time. And my issue with it in Ember Emerald is that the Tramp 2 is kind of taxed at doing too many things for the deck, right? It's trying to control the board, and it's already going +2 lore on the decisive dog lady. So at which point can you really like play Tramp 2? Like you'd want to see 4 Tramp 2 every game, but you cannot, right? So
you need to recycle them with the ladies, and it's all about sacrificing those.
Yeah, exactly. In the dream scenario, it's really good, but I think she's not as reliable as you would want her to be. But it remains to be seen how many copies that will be put into Ember Emerald.
No, I had one card that I was like, oh, these 2 cards are gonna go so well together. It's gonna be so great, the Disneyland dream and everything. And then I reread the card, and it turns out that we're gonna see it in a minute. But I had misread the Shift Todd, and doesn't work because we're gonna talk about the Todd that can untap itself when it's targeted by item abilities and actions. And at first I read abilities, and I was like, okay, so you put that with the blue Alice, and now like the Todd boosts the Mulan. She quests for 6, untap the Todd by supporting it, and like
it doesn't work.
But it doesn't work because it's item abilities, which I'm a little sad about that. That would have been.
Oh, we didn't talk about how good Amethyst was or not.
True.
I think it doesn't have nearly as much of power of Ember, but just a good set of cards, right? Like on average, like just an average set for him.
There's nothing broken. There's a few good supports. We'll see. Like there's costs in a lot of them on what you're cutting to put that in. So
yeah,
and in a way, like some people will be happy about it because they felt that Amethyst was way too strong for the past 2 sets, which I can't disagree. Right? It was the best color in the game. So
100%, not even close.
So that's the thing. Like now rebalancing, trying to give some new weapons to Ember, putting Ruby back on the map. We'll see that
in a second.
Because
Emerald is pretty short. But let's get to Emerald with Minnie Mouse, Spinning Skater. So Green Heron, basically.
Just a green
Not
heron.
much, just a green heron. Not much to say about it, unless
Yeah.
Everybody was getting their like 1/3s for one, their 2/2s for one. Now everybody's starting to get their
3 for 2.
2.
And the interesting part is that you see how it has implications differently in other colors, right? And I think Emerald in general is mostly focused on being super aggro or super control,
Mhm.
and this card doesn't do that any of those
Yeah,
things
it's very
well.
mid-rangey.
It's a,
So I don't think it's gonna see play at the moment.
no. Like generally, when people were playing Emerald mid-range piles, well, you weren't playing that kind of stuff. You were patching with your other color, right?
So let's go to the next one. Goofy Ghost of Jacob Marley. 4 cost uninkable, 4/4 quest for 2. Not a whisper, but still boosts. He's a ghost. So not only whispers can boost now. That's one of the new things from the set. And when he is banished, each opponent chooses and discards a card for each card that was under Goofy. So keyword is banished, so it's not going to be relevant as long as Sapphire is a color that exists and removes everything in sight with Let It Go and Hades. But
You're gonna get a lot of ramp. So at
Yeah.
least there's that.
he still boosts for 2, so
Or you empty your hand, deal with this, and don't care about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
we've never seen that happen before in the game with cards that would discard cards.
Yeah, exactly. At least the rate on the card is quite good, right?
Yeah,
The
it's 4/4, right?
4/4 quest for
Quest for
2.
2.
It's an annoying card, honestly, but I wonder.
It won't see play in my opinion. It's just too meh. Like it has the kind of you were talking about things that were probably not fast enough in when we were talking about Amethyst. This just feels a bit lukewarm.
Like Legendary Bell Green. Go next.
And I have to say that it's almost sad that they printed the perfect counterplay to this card next set, which last set, which is you play the Woodchuck, you banish it without a hand, and then you pop the Woodchuck workbook and draw 2. Like you can draw cards without having cards in hand now.
Playing
so
around it.
yeah.
Yeah. It is seeing play in some of the boosts, green-purple boosts. So,
Okay.
Oh,
well, obviously those lists might not be, like, refined,
Yeah.
I
but
don't know, but
it's day one list, right?
they're... Yeah, exactly.
and here we have the Todd I was alluding to a little bit earlier. 7-drop, 6/6, shift for 5. Quest for 2, evasive, and twice during your turn when he is chosen for an action or an item's ability, you may ready him. And item's ability is the part I had sadly misread. Because if it had been just ability, that with the Alice would support Alice Growing Girl would have been a nice little side mini game that I could have put in a deck or 2 just for the fun of it.
All right. I see where you wanted to go with that.
Yeah. Because support
You
is an ability.
can Medal of Honor it, right?
Yep, you can Medal of Honor it, which is the next best thing, but not as good.
Yeah. I
And,
think
you
he
know.
knows all the tricks.
Yeah, if there's
I think this is like the other OTK type of cards that we had in Emerald.
Yeah.
Like you can build around it. It's gonna win. It's gonna work on the play when your opponent doesn't have an answer for your cute thing, and on the draw you might lose to your opponents being faster. Like it's cute.
basically. If you have that and a few solutions, and then you came back, and then if you want to
Jeez.
Yes, exactly. If you
build your own,
put cards that don't interact with your opponents.
exactly, and hope for the best, right? Aggro's that.
Exactly.
You were talking about
Boost.
Emerald Amethyst Boost. I'm assuming this is one of the corner cards of
Yeah.
that deck.
Exactly. This is quite of a lengthy card. It's a 4 cost 4/4 quest for 1, and whenever you use the boost ability of a character, so you need boost cards. If not, this doesn't do much. You put one more card underneath it, basically. So it works really nice with the boost one, right? Because they're cheap. And then during your opponent's turn, if one of your other characters is banished, you may draw a card for each card that was under them. So my opponents drew 9 cards at one point because of this.
Nice.
So the high roll is certainly there. It puts a ton of pressure on your opponent because now they cannot deal with the very, very threatening genie that has a bunch of cards under it until they deal with that, right? So you can tempo them out.
And the Cheshire triggers twice because you put 2 cards under him, and it's whenever you put a card, so...
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that this unlocks, and I think it's kind of cool design. Obviously, the Sapphire things saying, all right, those gets into your inkwell means that you can build around that as well by playing Demona yourself, so that once they ink all your cards that you've put at the bottom, now you have so much ink, you play Demona and play out your hand every turn, right? So there's very nice ways to build around it, I think, which makes for a pretty good card.
I'm happy because it's a card that when they revealed it, I was like, oh, I like that. I like what they did with it. I didn't believe in it, but if you're telling me there's a chance for it, I'm happy to hear it.
I mean, there's a meta for it because, like, you're still gonna lose to the Go White Ember decks, right? Like, this is a 4/4/4 that doesn't do anything.
So of course this doesn't beat dogs.
No, it doesn't.
A reprint of Strike a Good Match.
Love that card.
I like this art better than I did the old one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I do too, but I also just love that card in general. Back in set 3 when they printed it, and like it was actually a good rate. Like you were getting to choose really good cards. You got good velocity out of it.
Very fair card. It was a nice reprint.
Yeah, very fair.
Very fair indeed. Education or Elimination. Another song in green and one with modes. Like usually cards with modes have the ability to be interesting. So either you draw a card and one of your characters gets +1 lore and gains evasive, or you banish chosen damage character. So it's either advantage or removal, depending on how you play it. Evidently, if you do that with Todd, it also readies Todd and allows him to quest for 4 right after.
Obviously, Todd's on the picture. They're hinging you to do that.
Yes, that is the very obvious thing that they encourage you to do. You can even sing it with Todd himself. But yeah, like
you can play it to just take out the Dumbo if you don't have an evasive with the MMS type of decks.
Type of effects.
I think it's a neat card, and honestly, we're lacking strong 4-cost song, and this kind of like getting close to it. Not quite there, but
yeah, no, I
close.
I like the effect. Green will probably find a way to enjoy this, to remove some pesky permanent or another.
Yeah, I would like to have stats on which option was chosen more often, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the first one a lot. But it's cool to have a second one. Sometimes it's going to be useful.
Well, it's good.
You run your Tipo into their big thing, and then suddenly, like, this is a 4-cost singables Dragonfire.
It's just great that the card is never like actively bad. It's either like, oh, I have a board I want to pull ahead, giving +1 quest and 1 and evasive and drawing is actually pulling you ahead. And if you're like on the back foot, just like banishing something is putting you back in the game.
It's also a very fair card, I think.
Yeah.
Very balanced.
The art is nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Snowford.
All right, this one looks completely obnoxious, but is actually quite strong. This is a 3-cost uninkable item. And you look at it, you think, oh, this is a location. No, it's not. But it very reminiscent of a location we used to play, which is a cove.
Yep.
So your character gets +1 strength, and during your opponent's turn, which is kind of hard to play around, like to play against for the first time, right? Because you're like, oh no, I don't want to exert things because my opponents will gain resist, but no, only on my turn. So it's really like defensive. This reads not that strong, but it's absolutely annoying. If you're in a purple mirror and suddenly the genies and Elsas are 3/4s and 3/6s on 3/5 was resist one. So now like genie, like Elsa genie doesn't take out genie, right? Like that's very, very obnoxious to play against. And you're not like, all right, I'm just gonna take care of the cove and then be free of that effect. I'm like, all right, if I this effect is there for the whole game if I don't have ways to get rid of items.
And is there a world where Dogs plays this just to protect from Under the Sea?
I think it's strictly worse than Chromacon and Dogs, but protect from it doesn't really.
In the mirror.
It doesn't protect from Under the Sea. All your characters are 1 or less, right? So
a lot of them are 2.
Not really.
Aren't they?
You play 2.
Not that much.
No,
not that much. No.
You have Lady, you have Tramp, like Big Lady, not Bigger Lady. But
we're not playing Big Lady anymore. That's the thing.
No, I meant like three drop Lady.
Sorry, the 3-drop. We're not playing the 3-drop.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I thought you said that the Shift Lady you're not playing anymore.
No, the Shift Lady is still playable. Yes.
That's still fine.
All right. The Retro Evolution device. So 3-cost item. You exert it, you pay 1, you banish one of your characters, and you play a character with cost up to 2 more than the banished character for free. That's a lot of words. But basically, sacrifice one of your character, play something bigger for free.
But you don't look into your decks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like I saw that card, I was
not
like...
pod.
I was like,
not
woo,
pod.
Burning Pod, and then, oh wait, it doesn't tutor a guy.
No.
Wait, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it's a way to ramp, but it costs you cards, so I hate it. But
it costs so much, like that card,
setup.
That other card, and like
And basically, it's just like saving you 1 ink because it costs you an ink to do so, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
I don't why some people are high on that card, but I don't see it. I'm not seeing
it's pod.
I mean, probably. what you could say is like do something like that, shift something like a 6 for 4, and then sacrifice a 6 to play an 8, or like with the shift you can do some more shenanigans to really go outside of your ink range, but it's pipe dreams.
Sure.
We're talking about the magic card, by the way.
Yeah.
I think green is the weakest color.
It is the weakest. Like there's barely any strong cards.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Green was already really good, so.
Yeah. Blue-green can take a break. I'm going to be okay with that.
Yes. I think everybody will be happy about that. Except me.
Let's go to Ruby. A card that is in much need of love if they want to survive.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph. 7 uninkable Whisper, 3/4, quest for 3, boost 1. He gets +1 for each card under him, and when he's banished, you banish all character with power equal or less than the power he had in play.
Be prepped, Ralph.
A bad Sisu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a very hard to set up Sisu.
Very slow.
It's a 7 cost is like it's a lot for him to not be able to do anything for at least a turn.
And
I saw people like telling Pierre-Marc on Twitter about this card, and you're just like, on turn 7, I'm just dead, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't have.
You kill it with the green item previous, and you play the dragon. That's it.
So the way that I've tried it, and that people are assuming that this is with playing with, is the 1-cost item Lonely Grave, which lets you banish your own characters for free by just exerting the item. so you can do it immediately, and then you can kind of play with its strength either by boosting or with your headless horseman. You can play with your opponent's or yours strength with coil, right? So there's all sorts of shenanigans that you can do with this. Well, ultimately, it's too expensive and uninkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're working very hard for not a lot of payoff, I want to say.
And a lot of these Ember decks can rebuild, right? Like I have talked about already. And so you're like putting a lot of effort in trying to deal with your opponent's board, which you might just deal with yours at the same time. And you're also playing a very bad item that doesn't do anything. When do you want to just banish your characters, right? Almost never. So
Probably better to
There's a
just give it rush.
song that draws you cards if you banish character. Anyways.
I know that's the thing. It's too much setup. It's too much like this. It's not even a song. It's an action, and it's bad.
So Scrooge McDuck, Ebenezer, well, Ghostly Ebenezer, another ghost that boosts. 2-drop, 3/3 boosts for 1, quest for 1, and he gets +1 power, +1 willpower for each card under him. So he grows every time you boost him.
This is interesting because it's very cool to scale. Like on turn 3, he's a 4/4. On turn 4, he's a 5/5. Like he
Assuming
keeps
you play
things-
off curve for the whole game.
Yeah, for sure. Well, now you can still like mention things that kind of boost for free or other ways to
Yeah.
boost, but it is cool for Ruby to have a cheap way to keep other things in check.
For
This color does it already really well.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
The fact that it doesn't heal when it boosts makes it bad, because you can have a good trade, but then it's gonna have 2 HP, and even if you boost, it's gonna get taken.
the cat.
That's 3 boosts
Yeah,
in one
but-
turn.
Uninkable, right? I'd rather play the Diablo and
Yeah.
have some threatening power. That like this effect is really strong in Magic because obviously strength is related to your win con, but
Also, your
Not in
health
Lorcana.
comes back every turn, right? Not in this.
Yeah.
yeah, also
Have you seen, guys? Maui's back.
it
I
is,
like this
and it's a
one,
dog.
finally.
It's a dog.
Yeah. So
So-
this is a 6 cost inkable 8/5 rush reckless, and somehow this dog is stronger than a god.
It's because
Hey,
it costs
listen.
more.
Yeah.
Also, like I found this very funny when they showed this quite early in the season, because like we were seeing all those like location cards, and then they showed this, and we're like, how do you want us to play locations if you're giving us this?
Location destroyer.
Well, if red is still not meta, you won't see it a lot, but this is gonna help at least, I think, a lot. The fact that it got 6 instead of 5 makes it singer for Parrot's Live and stuff, so that's cool too.
Yeah, but it makes it 1 turn slower to deal with dogs.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue with it is that it's a bit. So I think it sits kind of in the wrong spot where early you would want to smack into exerted characters, but once you've done that, you want to deal with ready characters because they already don't have an exerted board because you've dealt with that already, and so you just want to deal with everything that comes on top, right? And this doesn't do it anymore. So I feel like the 1 more cost is really, really, really putting a dramatic like it makes it so much less powerful than Maui.
But
Well,
it's a
then
hero,
let's
you
go
can
to Maui.
do one last hope.
You can do 1 last hope on him, but you can do that on Maui as well.
Yep.
So Maui, 4/3, uninkable, rush, quest for 2. So this one is not reckless.
It's a fox
It is Maui. It is Mim Fox for 4.
questing for
Uninkable.
2.
Uninkable.
That doesn't bounce a thing.
That quest for 2, because you really want to be questing with your 4/3 rush.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't
goal.
get that card. We never played Mulan. That was this. Was it Mulan or Moana? I can't remember, but
Doesn't
it
Yeah.
was the same stat line, but with 1 lore, and we never.
Wasn't there also
Actually,
Vanellope that is like evasive your first turn that has similar stat line?
I want to tell Pierre-Marc. Actually, the Mulan we had 2 copies of in our
Incidental's list.
NACC list to take out daisies.
Got it.
Alright, let's move on to Fazu.
Was it on top of Sisu? Because you could just have played Sisu. Okay, Fazu is the other card I was alluding to
Yes.
when we talked about Ruben.
So he enters
That's
play with 2
mostly-
damage, so
That's mostly the implication of that
Yep.
card.
that's good. If damage matters, it's the kind of things Red want to do. That's okay.
I think there's not enough in Ruby,
Yeah,
and so
we would
it's
need more.
welcome to have more. Yeah,
But I think the Malagoto was much better.
it was 100% better.
Because it was 3 damage and Rapunzel healed.
It was
for
a 3/4.
So
Yeah.
it was
And
it was also a
3/4.
3/4.
Yep,
But this quest for 2 at least.
they had to give it something.
I mean,
Yes.
he's old and sick and broken. Like he can strike for 3. He's frail.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, exactly.
But Sage Liquidator, the
Alright.
Ruby underdog. So if it's your first turn, he costs 1 instead of 2. He's a 4/2 with Reckless. So
He's a Gaston from first set.
Yeah, he's power crypt Gaston.
Power Crab Gaston.
But he doesn't shift it to a blue Gaston. Maybe they're gonna add another Liquidator sometime.
Right, we used to do that. You're right.
Right.
This is pretty good.
That on turn 1 to answer a Daisy is definitely
Yeah.
something
That's its sole
that
purpose.
Man, we would have killed for that back then.
I was talking about the bad Mulan we were running.
Yeah, like really. Yeah, this is a really good card. I think Tinkerbell from last set, the 3/1, no, from 2 sets ago. Anyway, the 3/1 for 1 is a little bit better.
Last set.
Okay, because you can play it on the play, and you can shift onto her, but obviously the stat line here lines up much
Yeah,
better
you need Lumiere.
into Daisy. So I could see a split between this and Tink in like Ruby Sapphire.
the fact
Well,
that we're hearing
I know-
Ruby
I know-
Sapphire is
I think
something new.
this just needs
Yes.
one resist. It's pretty good. Oh, slushy.
Yeah. Slushy.
So this card looks like just a vanilla, a limited card.
Kinda does,
but
yes.
as a purple player, you look at this and you're like, what am I gonna do with this?
It's
This
a big,
just wrecks all the
it's
evasive.
a big stone
right?
wall.
Yeah. So I've put it because I think in Ruby Ember, if you want to get better into Amethyst, this is a tool for that.
They had that.
Interesting.
Yeah, Horseman Strike also. But yeah, this helps.
The legendary Elsa, Ice Artisan, so 6 cost, shift for 4, 5/5, quest for 1. When you play her and whenever you play a location, you may exert chosen character with 3 power or less. And while she's at a location, she quests for 4. So locations matter in Ruby. Now more of a thing than... Well, we
Yeah,
already had
yeah.
it to a degree, but now really cemented into the identity.
They really wanted to try to make it work, and this is like the testament to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think they haven't printed enough locations to make us care about it.
We have a lot of location
Well,
matter card. We don't have a lot of locations that matter.
Of good luck.
No, exactly. And the problem with locations is that they're extremely obnoxious to play against when you're on the draw. So it's hard for them to balance them, right? So they're being a little bit more careful about them, which makes them unplayable. But every time they let it slip, it wraps the format too much, right? So the whole location thing, I think it's just casual,
Yeah, it's
mostly.
a hard design space for competitive for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes the card fairly bad. It exerts a character with 3 or less, so it's basically kind of
It wants to be good.
it's like a soft removal, right?
Yeah, it wants to be good, but it's just whatever.
It's medium.
I mean, you can do the Elsa 5 and then shift that one on top to exert another character, and now she's a 5/5 instead of a 2/5, I guess.
She
That's not
loses
evasive
evasive.
anymore.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but who cares? Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge himself. 4-drop and inkable for 3. When he quests, each opponent lose 1 lore, and you draw a card for each lore lost this way. So that's good. Card drawing.
That's always 1, by the way, unless you're playing multiplayer.
Yes. And at the end of the turn, if an opponent has 0 lore, you gain 1 lore. So this is very interesting design for Ruby, I feel.
I saw some people excited about it being like, oh, we're going back to that kind of like stealing lore that we saw in like first chapter mostly with like the Aladdins.
Well, Pirate's Life is that as well. Like Ruby has always had a little bit of it sprinkled.
That's the thing. It's
altogether.
they're not doing it like as a very recurring theme. It's just sprinkled in.
Yeah, Gloid Orange Boar I think had it 2 sets ago or something. Like it's really something they do sparsely.
I think it would be probably too obnoxious in their opinion. I don't know.
So my opinion on it is that if you quest, that means you're not challenging, and you're probably better off challenging and getting 2 lore off the table than questing and removing only 1. Obviously, you draw a card, so that's like the good side about it. But it's uninkable, and like the second part is really thematic more than anything.
Yeah. If you get there, like props to you. But
all right.
The thing is, the matchups where this would matter, which is, you're playing against Control, who is really slow to start questing, but then questing with him doesn't draw you a card because you don't have lore to steal. So he's basically like, oh yeah, gain the lore at the end of your turn. Okay.
It's a very hard card to evaluate, but it's an interesting design, but I'm not sure that it's strong enough.
Probably won't make it when you consider that Ruby was, for 2 sets, the worst color.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's not what's gonna make Ruby better. Like, it's a cool tool, but...
No, I could see it if we could make it to a point where aggro, like, quests early and then kind of has to stall because you have the threat of the Shift Mulan or something like that, and now they're kind of stonewalled and trying to build their large board, and you start stealing some of that lore back and drawing cards off of it.
Sure.
It plays into that kind of effect of like, okay, I'm stalling you more than I am challenging you.
Yeah, but the card that makes them stop questing are the important cards on this one.
No, exactly. Marching off to battle. Another card draw in red. 4-cost Song Inkable that if a character was banished this turn, draw 2 cards. Very red in nature, very simple, very clean.
Yeah, that's a cool design. And I first thought that it was going to be bad because it's too conditional. But I've put it in a deck with 4 Headless Horsemen, 4 Steamboat Rival Pete with the 4 new Petes, 4 Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, and it's just like it banishes things every turn. So you get to draw cards. The worst thing about it is the mirror becomes extremely obnoxious of like who gets the most marching of the battle.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna win if you draw more than your opponents for sure. But this is a good card draw for this archetype for red blue, and it's kind of like working really well with the tools that we have already, which was the Headless Horsemen from last set, which is, by the way, a very good card to pick up right now because it's a kind of not too expensive legendary. And it works extremely well with like 1, 2, 4 Headless Horsemen sing with your 4-drop, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it works really well into the aggro decks because if you play Tinkerbell or Illuminator, whatever, Tipo 4-drop, suddenly your whole board trades for whatever they quested with because your Headless Horsemen now gets to take down and give +1 strength to everything else that you play. And suddenly your Tipo gets to challenge favorably into a Daisy, right? So this archetypes as legs for the first time since the rotation. So it's and one of the reason why is the
and even for
this
less
card.
played color pairs like Ruby Steel that can challenge ready characters and stuff like that, them being able to, like, the main problem of that was, oh, you're relying
draw.
on, you know, Queen of Hearts to get
You were
some
almost
cards.
empty-handed, right?
Yeah. So being able to refuel might help them a little bit, even if it's not to the point right now where it's meta relevant. But having that be more viable is always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, if aggro is at the forefront, Ruby Steel was always good against that, right? So
grab your bow. We want to banish characters. Let's do that with a 5-drop song this time. Banish up to 2 chosen character, cost 2 or less. So double brawl as a song.
Double brawl.
Double brawl as a
It's
song.
not 2 cost, it's 2 attack.
2 attack. Sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, Pat.
That takes out Elsa and Genie in one swoop. So that's really good, right? Because it's going to be good into aggro, good into purple. I was liking this the most when I started with Coil, because then it just like absolutely great. It goes crazy, right? Without Coil, it gets a little bit worse still. And the fact that it's a song, it can get sniped by Ursula. So that's a downside for it. But if you really want to beat aggro and you want to play blue, you want to play the small tink and the shift tink and play this on the 3. It's gonna take out aggro. It's gonna work.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew. And then find ways to draw cards and
marching off to battle.
Yeah,
exactly.
If the Blurple player doesn't play into it though, it can get stuck into your hand, and it's a bit of a liability. But
good.
So that's my biggest issue with it. All right, this card doesn't look like good, but it's actually pretty good.
It's card draw for red.
Exactly. It's cost 3, cost an inkable, Christoph Sloot. You tap it, tap 2, reveal the top card of your deck, and you may play it as if it was in your hand. If not, you discard it. So you need to pay for its costs. Unless it's a song, then you can sing it.
I like they're doing the magic thing of like impulse draw in red.
Yeah.
Which
Very reminiscent
thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. So where this shines is in Blue Mirror's late game, where you just basically draw 2 every turn. And it plays very nicely with Develop Your Brain and Vision of the Future, because then you don't have to play the card, right? You just get to play the search card and then hold on to that card potentially for a following turn. And you get to a good number of ink because of the blue cards that we're going to see. Obviously with Cinderella on top, but we're going to see more ink cards. So it's strictly a Blue Mirror type of card because you need a lot of ink for it to work. And it's uninkable, and it's really bad into aggro and stuff like that. So it's probably like a 1 of, maybe a 2 of if the meta asks for it.
And Graveyard of Christmas Future. Let me rotate that. Hopefully I can find it. I can't. Oh well.
So whenever you move a character here, put the top card of your deck under this location face down. At the start of your turn, you may put all cards from under this location into your hand. If you do, banish this location. Cost 4, cost 1 to move there, and has 8 willpower. Lures for 1 at the start of turn.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
this is too much setup.
It's a lot of text saying for like do stuff, care about locations. It has a lot of willpower. Try and play this.
Oh well. So Ruby is getting some tools to get it back on the map, which is really, really good. It's going to take a little more sets like this for it to become fully relevant again, but it's good to see it coming on the right way to being a playable color once again.
I think we might see some red decks coming back to the meta. I'm willing to extrapolate and say that there will be people trying some red decks.
There's more chance of people experimenting with it for sure. Darkwing Duck, Drake Millard.
This is just a shift for the steel,
the steel one.
So
Yep.
I just wanted to
So
highlight
he's a
it. It's the
4/1
detective.
He's a detective. We'll talk
We saw
about
it with
shift
the
one.
Prince Philip Ward target for shift target is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But he dies to MMS like pure. No need
Yeah.
to shift.
Yeah. All right. This is the card I was alluding to when I talked about Raging Storm. So Grammatala is a 6/6 for 12, quest for 2, but she costs 1 less for every ink in your inkwell. So once you get to 12, she's a free card. And so you could go Cinderella plus a princess or double Cindy, play Raging Storm, and then suddenly you have like a 3 cost 6/6 quest for 2, which is extremely good into the blue mirrors and act basically as like as close of a manner, right, type of card as you could see.
Like on rate, it's always going to be a 6/6 on turn 4.
For 6, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, a 6/6 for 6 on turn 4, because you're in blue, right? You're actively looking to do that.
Yeah. And so there's more ways to ramp, which means that this card gets cheaper, but obviously it's a huge break early on. So you need ways to ink it, which is Cinderella
can do that easily.
So
you're in blue, you're not too worried about it.
Yeah, you just need to make choices in your deck, and that's really where the limit of that card is.
That's fair.
Very good card. Very interesting design.
It's a cool tool to have in the arsenal.
Scrooge McDuck, Reform the Benzer, the card we got for Christmas. 6-drop, Floodborn, shift for 4/6, quest for 2. And when you play him, you put a card from the top of your deck face down under each of your other characters. If you do, they gain a ward until the start of your next turn. So that that solves the Brave Little Prince question that people were wanting. People were wanting for a way to cheat out Brave Little Prince. Scrooge does that. Yay.
Yeah, it's kind of gimmicky a little bit.
The easiest way you would have to play like that 2-drop Scrooge that we saw in red, play the Brave Little Prince, and then shift and quest.
Shift the Scrooge.
Yeah, and give it ward so you can quest twice.
Yeah.
And then congratulations, you've done your thing. Hope you win, I guess, because that's all your deck is doing.
You get a golden star, which is not the victory.
That's why it's Christmas theme. That's a Christmas land play, but
exactly.
It says it triggers the boost mechanic, but I don't know.
You get a Steam achievement that pops up. It says you've done it.
In blue Amber and Sapphire Amber, you could play there's a bunch of give free boosts, and this also does that. So you could go with Simba and go super high rolly type of deck. And I think that's mostly a fun deck, but I think this is what this for, right? It's for the funny Simba deck in blue yellow, and it's not competitive.
No, it's cute. Pete, Ghost of Christmas.
Now this is competitive.
Now he's a ghost, so he can boost for 1. He's a 5/5 for 5 inkable, questing for 1. Whenever he quests, look at the number of cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards under him. Put 1 into your hand, the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So
this
is one of the way you draw cards with red-blue. And so you go turn 2 ramp, Cindy, play this, immediately boost him. And on the following turn, you exert, draw a card, and play Pete 7, the Steamboat rival, and it's the Maleficent Monstrous Dragon if you have Pete in play.
Ooh.
And if you don't have that, right, you can boost again, and then suddenly you're playing Develop Your Brains every turn off of a quest.
It gets almost like tutory at some point if you're boosting him more than twice, I would say.
Yeah. And at some point, the blue mirrors are about you don't want to overboost, because if you do, you just run out of cards.
Yeah.
Because this gets away with the game real fast if it gets going, and it's kind of hard to interact with, right? If it's played on turn 4 because of it being a 5/5.
You're not gonna
It
Elsa
can
into
sing. It can sing "Let It Go" that we're gonna see in a second. This just does everything. It contests the board. It's very, very strong. One of the best cards in the set, in my opinion.
Nice.
More than Moana, unfortunately, for Moana.
I wanted to ask you about it because I've seen some people super hyped about it. I personally like, okay, it's you can ink from your discard and you can do sail, ink sail. Like it's, I find it more cute than anything. But
It's an interesting card because you see like potential coming out of this kind of ability, but I think they're not quite there yet.
It's a 5-cost inkable for 4 quests for 2, and you can ink from your discard. Anything that lets you, that's your ink for the turn, right? So you cannot ramp with it.
It only
whatever.
works like Bell from
The
set
cards,
and
yeah.
sail.
The cards from your discard needs to be inkable. It works with sail, right? So it's extremely good with like sails later on, because then you're drawing a card, then you ink the sail, and you ink another card from your discard. So suddenly from the sail, you gain a card and ink twice, right? So you like a 3-for-1.
Pretty
But
decent.
that's very like again Christmassy. Like you played that and then you probably waited a turn to do that.
Yeah, but she
Oh, yeah.
she
I mean,
triggers
the biggest issue is her cost,
Yeah.
right? If she would be a 4 cost, I would be much higher on the card.
Mhm.
But the problem is that on turn 4 in Lorcana, you need to do something.
Yeah.
And this just advance your inkwell. That's it, right? So purple steel, right? 1, 2, 3 strength, right? Green blue 1, 2, 3 shifts. Clarabelle, sing you're welcome. All the good decks. Blurple, it plays Elsa after having played 1, 2, 4, right? So this doesn't do that. And yes, it gains a card every turn. It triggers Cinderella. It's just quite there. And I think in grindy matchups, she's pretty good. The body is like okay. She quests for 2. I think she's playable and good, but not broken at the moment.
That's fair.
She could become, though. Like, she has potential.
But he's not on the card, so bad iconic.
Bad iconic.
Tamatoa, Seeker of Shrine, 7 cost 6/6 Whisper, boost for 2 Ward. Whenever you put a card under one of your character or location, he gets +1 lore this turn. So like all Tamatoas, he wants to combo into combo-y thing. This one is just worse than the others.
This one is finally a balanced one, I want to say. Not balanced, but, not broken. So, yeah.
You mean it's a bad Tamatoa?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
All right.
Woo!
This one Drew really loves.
Oh, I like we were saying that you have to do something on turn. Well, you have to do something good with your 4 drops. I'm super high on that card. Belle, Snowfield Strategist. She's a 2/3 for 4, and she says, whenever one of your characters is banished, you may put that card from your discard into your inkwell face down and exerted. She quests for 2. I'm just mega high on that card. Having the choice,
Princess.
she's a princess, 1 drop into Tipo, and when you don't have Cindy, you can go into that and then challenge with your guys and still be on 6, even on 7 on your next turn. So it's just very good.
Yeah, she's the redundancy that the blue deck needed after the Hiram ban. Now with Cindy and Belle, they're all set up. She triggers Cindy later on. She makes the Raging Storm. She makes it better because then it's not you're breaking the parity of the board wipe because you're getting those cards back into your inkwell. So if you can abuse those into getting like better play later on, like the Grammatala, like I said, like the Surfer Stitch, being able to like play more characters into a Surfer Stitch, right? Because you've get a big board because you had Belle. She does all that. She's extremely good. One of, if probably my favorite card of the set.
Same here.
In Infinity, there's a broken new thing that you can do with her.
Which is?
So in Blurple, we already seen that before her, but you could go Chernobog's Follower or Broom, and then on turn 2 you play 2 more of them. So you have 3 of them. And then you play Cruella de Vil. And then you play Belle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you banish your 3 guys, get 6 ink, and draw 3 cards.
Yeehaw.
Wow.
We're in business here,
So
boys.
You can go, and if you banish something with Cruella, you could go to 12 ink.
But Cruella
on turn
is only
5.
once per turn, though. This is just a better Cruella.
Oh, is it once
yeah.
per turn?
At least.
It's
Well,
once per turn.
Okay.
So the Belle is just a
Okay,
much
well.
better Cruella. Cruella was fun,
Yeah.
but this is so much better.
Yeah, this
And
is
she's
just much
inkable.
better.
Yeah.
And she's inkable. Anyway.
Super hound that
Really?
card.
Okay, anyway, there's cool things to be done with her.
That's cool. Mickey Mouse Bob Cratchit. 2 inkable 3/2. When he quests, put the top card of your deck face down under him. And when he's banished in a challenge, you may pull all cards that were under him under another chosen character or location of yours. So he moves boosts around.
It's a cool enabler if you're doing that and trying to max out on these effects. I think it's
Yeah,
a
max
bit.
out on Genie or something, but it's cute.
Yeah, I think it's like very clunky too. So
Yeah, because you need to quest first to like kind of fill him up and then have something to challenge with him or have someone challenge into him. It's okay. Not the greatest. Like you're not gonna be happy pulling that as your rare.
Maybe they
in your
wanted
pack.
this to be played with the prince, so you put the card like questing in your shift, and it's now evasive in 5/5. I don't know. It's weird.
Maybe,
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
but no. If you shift the prince, he's already shifted.
Yeah, he's already shifted, so he's already a Mickey Mouse, so I
You
don't
get
know.
more cards under when you get.
More
Let
cards.
it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Speaking of,
let it go.
Wow, what a good transition. What a pro.
what a timing. So let it go. Reprint. Really nice.
Alternate art.
Alt art. Now I'm kind of sad that in Milwaukee I didn't get a copy or 2 of the non.
We can get you one from Gant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk. We'll talk.
Uh-huh. Also, like a full
We'll see what
disclosure,
the rates are.
I like the old art a whole lot better than this one.
I preferred the old art as well, but this one fits the
It's
current
pretty
story, like the storyline with
Yeah.
the dress and everything. I'm happy that they're redoing it.
It's a very good card for Blurple. It's a good card for the Ember Sapphire control deck as well.
If you have this, do you think you're also keeping
Into the unknown.
Into the Unknown?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're playing
both.
both.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, definitely.
like maybe not 8 total, but
Six.
like from
Yeah.
That makes sense. But no reason to linger too long on it.
Sapphire, second best
best
color
color, yeah.
in the set,
Easily.
in my opinion.
That Pete, that Bell, and the reprint of Let It Go plays so much. Like they have so much weight on the meta.
Gotcha.
I think it's not even close.
We'll see.
The issue is that can you afford to play blue?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the main problem.
But probably yes.
Down
All right.
to Hamsterveel's Accomplice. So a 3/3 1-drop. Hey, power boost. When you play him, you choose and discard a card. Oh.
I mean, a lot of the time, I think people are playing their 1-drops when they shouldn't. This is, I don't know, this is even more costly.
I mean, if it's your last card in hand, you're fine.
You want to keep a 1-drop for until your last card in hand is
Yeah,
a 3/3.
no.
Cost
No,
for
but-
1.
Yeah, if it's your last card in,
You're
you're not
losing.
happy about it.
I know. I'm just saying you're not discarding.
I think this is meant to discard things for Lilo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Or just to discard the 2-drop Lilo to
if,
be
if
able
you wanted
to...
to have something to deal with like aggro starts in your probably aggro adjacent deck.
With this card and the reprint of Strike, a good match. I wonder if at some point we're gonna have a card that plays for free if it's discarded or something like that. But that would make
Yeah.
this kind of card much better.
Yes, definitely.
Some kind of madness.
If we had madness,
Yeah.
that would be pretty good.
We'll see. Duke Weaselton. 3-cost inkable 3/3. When he's banished, you may play a character with cost 2 or less for free. Hey, replacement effect for aggro.
Free again. But I think
this is bad.
I think it's just like so costly to like
You need to keep characters with cost 2 or less in your hand after turn 3, which...
it's like your hand wasn't great if you're doing like I inked a bunch of stuff. I went 1, 2, 3, play this gets banished, and you still have the 2-drop 2-drop. So
The bad
Yeah.
Mufasa.
And if they don't, then you've kept the 2-drop for it. Like, it's just
Yeah, no,
bad.
it's a card.
doesn't play as well as you think it is.
Nani.
This, on the other hand,
Yeah.
the 2 lore quester 1/4, 2 lore, 2 cost, unless she is damaged.
Very reminiscent of Nala from Fabled. A little bit less aggressive, but inkable. And has the 1 power to at least challenge back a little bit.
yeah.
Works nicely with the heal effect, obviously.
Yes.
Good card.
Dr. Hamsterveal. 8 cost 5/5 for each alien in your discard. You pay 1 less to play this character, and when you play him, chosen opposing character can't challenge during their next turn.
So if there's such a thing as a Lilo and Stitch deck with the Lilo that cares about aliens and whatnot, it may be a good top end.
Even
but
then,
It's
I
a
find
league
him
deck
too costly.
for fun.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a league deck.
Yeah.
I agree with
very
that.
very league deck.
Like, I've built for fun a Lilo, like a pure Lilo and Stitch deck for next set,
And I know
and
it
it doesn't
wasn't
even
there.
get there because you don't want your characters to die that badly. You want to bring them back from the discard. You want to do shenanigans with them, not throw a lot of stuff in your graveyard hoping for all your aliens to die.
And you showed me the deck, and the first thing I said was not about this. I said Stitch Surfer first.
Yeah.
So as top
Exactly.
end.
Angela, Night Warrior, 3-up, 3/2 that quest for 1. When she enters, you may give chosen character challenger +2 and resist 2 until the start of your next turn, but more importantly, your Gargoyles character lose the Stone by Day ability.
I think this is
So-
interesting if like Amethyst Steel is still a deck. Like it plays well with Lexington, plays well with Demona. So
It gives you the
like,
best
and-
trade on turn 3.
yeah. So like probably not playing this on turn 3 would make sense. Like I still think that you may go like Lexington into this, and that would be great. But
For a super rare, I'm still like, I get that it's an effect they want to put as something a little bit more special to remove Stone by Day, but for a super rare, it's a little bit underwhelming in my personal opinion.
for sure.
Yeah.
But still,
The
again,
stats are terrible.
Yeah.
It's really
It's a
what
tool
it is.
card. It's only good when it's good, and otherwise it's very bad.
if you're building a Gargoyles deck, you might want this.
Yeah, I don't know. The Ruby Steel Gargoyle, is that a thing?
No, it's
It
not.
replaced like the Jafar, but we don't see the Jafar a lot, so
Yeah, yeah, exactly. GG?
GG.
GG?
So
GG, I won the game.
Exactly. You play that, your opponent's like, oh, well, GG.
It's a 3-cost 4/4 alert quest for 1, but she's 2/4 if she has damage.
So she's a Lexington
This-
adjacent card.
Just seems like a better Lexington,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
She's closer to Lawrence than she is to Lexington.
Well,
Yeah, but she takes down
Yeah.
evasive.
No, exactly.
Really big thing.
Yeah, well, she's gonna get smaller with damage, but at least still keep some power,
Mm-hmm.
contrary to
Yeah.
Lawrence. I think you get like the best of the 3 worlds.
Well, unless you really want to have two Lore Quester, that's where Lawrence was better.
Sure.
My issue with the Lexington was that a lot of the time, if you wanted to sing or challenge with it on turn 4, you would just lock it.
Yeah. Hence
you
my
would just
point with
own it.
D'Angela.
Yes.
And this alleviates that. And if like your opponent cannot really retaliate into it favorably, right? It's just a
For some
4/4.
reason, I thought it was a dog, but it's actually an alien, so it works with Lilo, I guess.
It's not a dog.
It
Look
is
at
an
that.
alien, yes.
It's from Lilo and Stitch, and it's meant to look like a dog.
Yeah, like Stitch.
Yes, obviously.
Speaking of aliens,
Yeah, speaking of aliens, Angel, experiment 624. While you have no cards in hand, she gains resist +2, and once per turn, you may choose and discard a card to deal 2 damage to chosen character.
Really like that card.
I like the design of it. I'm a little sad by the once per turn on the discard to do damage. I would have loved to pair that with Goliath and just like machine gun your hand redraw too, but
Man, that I think that would be too obnoxious to just machine gun the board every single time.
and have a 3/3 resist 2
resist 2.
Yeah.
every turn.
I think this card looks great for purple steel.
Yeah, and it's also for Sapphire Steel, right? If they want to fight aggro, it gives them one more for drop that they can play, and it does pair nicely with Goliath anyway, right? Because like a lot of the time you were drawing 2 big dumb, and you're like, all right, I can only play one. I can ink the other one, but like,
Yeah.
the advantage of that. So at least you're getting a 2 damage out of it. It doesn't put any pressure on your opponents, and it's kind of bad into the big characters. But I've dealt with. So I've built a purple steel deck with the 3-drop Lilo with this, and I've dealt with the Rockstar on my opponents that it was trying to stay there, right? I keeping itself ready. I was like, I now can challenge for 5 with my Lilo when she quests, and if I empty my hand, dealing 2 to something, and then challenging for 5 resist 2, surviving the Stitch Rockstar.
Nice.
Pretty very good, and it can be played in Ember Steel, which I'm sure you were going to get to, Drew.
I'm sure we'll see that again at some point.
With Akud and Emuti, right? You could
Yes.
play this on turn
Exactly.
2.
We were talking about Darkwing Duck, the shift 1 for the blue one earlier. So this one, 7-drop Inkable, 6/8, quest for 2, shifts for 5. During your turn, whenever an item is banished, you may pay 1 to deal 2 damage to chosen character, and he can challenge ready villain characters.
He's also
Yeah,
our first,
what a body.
He's our first shift
Super.
storyborn.
Oh, shift Storyborn, true.
Yeah, what a body. What an incredible body.
I think this looks amazing in Infinity.
With popsicles and 40
Yeah.
seers and
With Bell, right?
Yep.
With the 3-drop Bell.
Yep.
too.
If we add just a little bit better items, it could also be played in Core Constructed. We're almost there with that card, honestly. With there's also a 1-cost shift target in Steel, and there's the 2-cost in Sapphire. So now there's 8 different shifts. This with the Ingenious Device, right? It deals 5,
And
That's
play a bell
actually
for
and you can divide it. 3 + 2.
Grenade.
What do you say, Pat?
and you can play bell for free because you don't need to use the trick of the bomb. Like it's just play bell, pay
Yeah,
1, 5
exactly.
damage, 3/3. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just missing like good items, I feel
And it's an
like.
IRAM to pop them.
And then the second part is mostly thematic, but they've released an item that says, "Are your
All
opponents
your opponent's characters,
are
villains.
villains?"
This is Jet.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, it creates a huge liability, right, to your opponents because everything they play, you get to just attack immediately, right?
Yeah, 6/8. There's not much that resists, like that survives that
Doesn't.
encounter.
And they've even put an item in Sapphire that can heal the Darkwing Duck for 4. So they're setting the foundation of an item deck. We're just missing the good items. It's the same thing as the locations,
Yeah.
right?
Please,
Lots of payoffs, not a lot of good.
even without the item, there's a bunch of good villain that are actually played, like the 80s and the Demona. So
And I forgot about something, but this is a detective, right? And the whole thing about blue steel since last set is detective matters. So with the Judy ops,
You can go find this.
you can go find
Give it
this,
alert,
right?
give it
So
resist.
there's actually a bit you can kind of like, maybe it's cute a little bit, but like we're getting close to it. I think the power is almost there.
Are we gonna be able to play our Daisy Ducks?
This card is not good, but the Judy ops are
Yes.
good. And the Nick Wild are actually
Yeah,
playable in a
it's
heavy
It's a
detective
fine
deck.
card.
The bodyguards of all bodyguards. John Smith, Undaunted Protector. 5 cost stunning, 3/6, quest for 2. Bodyguard, and opponent must choose this character for actions and abilities if able. So he gets all the support, all the everything.
Love this card.
He's a magnet.
Love this card. This was the cutest thing I found to do in that Steel Song list I was talking about when you're trying to cheat him out. This was like super obnoxious to do, like, oh, Angel, sing the song, do the thing, and then you have this, and your opponent is just like, well, I have to go through this thing no matter what I do. So I was quite high on it.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see.
Yeah. I don't know.
it's good
It's
at protecting illusion.
It's
That's
okay.
it.
The thing is, I was high on it without the vision of, if it looks too slow, you're probably not doing the right thing in the meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
This is a proactive card that is 5 cost on gold.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue with
yeah.
it.
The problem is that the other player's gonna want to remove it. So if they have a good removal and you play this on 5, it's your biggest threat, so they want to remove it anyway. So it's the target they would have chosen. I think it's more annoying for like action that are buff, so the opponent cannot play the buff anymore. But we don't play a lot of buff action anyway, so
It's annoying for people wanting to play like the Rapunzel from last set, where you have to support your characters to protect them, because then they have to support John Smith instead. And
Yeah.
it's good against support.
Yeah. But support is not seeing a tremendous amount
You're not
of play.
forced to play
No.
to support, so you just don't support, and that's it.
Exactly.
Or you support and you play the World Greatest Criminal and it's dead.
Yep. Lilo bundled up. During each opponent's turn, the first time she would take damage, she takes no damage.
She has built-in Rapunzel.
2 uninkable, 1/2 quest for 2. Cute little aggro card.
I just don't like
Yeah.
that they changed the wording. Usually you would be saying like when it would be dealt damage, now it's take, so people are questioning the MMS, which should go through still. But yeah, it's good against everything else.
Yes.
Well, except for Cat.
Yeah, everything that's at put damage, so the cat is still pretty
Yeah.
good against this. And Bell.
Like that was the biggest issue with Nala last set, and this is the
Still
same.
still the biggest
It's still
issue.
the same issue as the Cat.
Two toughness against the cat is not a good.
But it's a Lilo, right? So it works with Pudge, it works with Shift Lilo.
Yep.
So this is a fairly good card, and it technically could replace Nala, right? Because it's very similar in what it does, and it has 1 more strength, and it makes your Pudge free. So
And it's not in an Ember or Emerald, so it's probably not going to see that much play. Comparatively.
Well,
We'll see.
I don't know. I think Ember still has promise,
Yeah.
but we just don't know which form it's going to take, and obviously it's a mid-range. This is not going to see playing that.
Keep the ancient way. Pete on a song. Opponents can play action or items until the start of your next turn for a song that costs 2 and is inkable.
I've played the Blue Steel Mirror where my opponents at this, and it wrecked my days.
because of items. Pete doesn't prevent items, so this is great.
Yeah. This has implication in Infinity more
Yes.
than it has in Core Constructed.
In Infinity, it definitely has implications.
It's just gonna be so weird if the meta is about this card, because then the mirror is so annoying. Just the first one that plays it prevents the other. Like Pete cannot prevent Pete, but this prevent this, so it's it's gonna be weird.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
well, it's gonna be a big like Mexican standoff of this. Like, can you blank your opponent's turn with this, which is like crazy to me.
Well, if you're able to do it like on their turn too, or like the turn they want to do their thing, and you're able to get ahead, and they have to just take an idle turn, it's probably enough in like the blue-green, blue steel mirror.
Well, depending if you have characters to play, right?
Yeah. Terror that flaps in the night. 2-cost inkable action, 2 damage to opposing character. If you have a Darkwing Duck, it's 3 damage instead. So
Baboom
Yep.
or reduce match. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that card, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Pretty good.
does the job. I like it. Doesn't attack locations, but it's not like it matters right now.
If our big Darkwing is good, this will get slotted in just fine.
Yeah, exactly, right? Early on, it takes down the Willow, and later on, it takes out
It takes
Dumbo.
down Diablo in Infinity. Important.
It does.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Let's
And
get
while on the
dangerous.
subject, let's get dangerous. Each player shuffles their deck and reveals the top card. Each player who reveals a character card may play that card for free. Otherwise, put the revealed cards on the bottom of their player's deck.
That's Jumbo
Do
Casino.
you want to go to the casino?
Man, like I feel this against like blue-green. You take your chances.
The problem is when they hit, man, do they hit.
Yeah, sure.
Well, at least the MMS was not played first.
You're wasting one of their combos if you're hitting a Philip, but like it.
If you're hitting a Clarabelle.
The flip is on there.
I think my first game of the new set, I played against Embrasil that was playing that, and they revealed a Horseman. And still, I was like, what is going on here? Like, are we playing lottery?
You're at the casino. They want to play all the casino cards.
Yeah, it's a fun card. It's unplayable and competitive.
I'll probably try it at some point. Like, try to build something funky.
Like, not at a DLC
No,
is what I mean.
you're not going to bring that to a DLC. Can you imagine? The top 8 or top 4 game on stream.
You're playing against Red Blue, and they have like Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, and you got a
and
Tipo.
Hades, and that sounds like a good plan. Winterspell. If only locations were good. Chosen location of yours can be challenged until the start of your next turn. Draw a card.
If locations are good, it's because of that card. Like, this card is extremely good. If locations are good.
Yeah, well,
That with Queen's Castle or Library back in the day would have been like...
Oh God, that would have been obnoxious.
Really, right? Because then you get to have your whole board like get into the library, and then you're drawing all castle, and then you draw all the cards, right, without fearing any retaliation.
That's a nice card, but I doubt. Like this set, I doubt we're gonna see anything. But
No,
it's
It
good to
stays
keep
in
it
the
in
format
mind
for a
if
while.
We have it for a year and a half, and we're off to the Enchanted.
how was Steel? Medium, I would say.
Yeah.
Some good cards, like I think
Angel's like a little bit
Great.
more removal, which is never bad for Steel. Nothing that replaces Let the Storm, really. But apart from that, like we're okay.
Probably a contender for like third best color in the set, but even there, it's not sure.
Yeah.
Like everything after like
I don't think so.
After like Amber, Sapphire, and then everything's kind of blur-ish.
and then Emerald
Emerald at the end.
way down.
Yeah.
I think so.
But yeah, no, we were talking earlier about the art style that feels really children book-ish. And for me, it looks like a lot of
Nice.
storybooks I either grew up with or will see when we're going to Disney World or stuff like that. So it's reminiscent of a lot of Disney classic art.
In my mind,
And
some
It
work
talks to
and
me.
some don't work that much. Like I liked it on the Bell. I don't really like it on the card we just saw, the Freeze Divine, I think. Yeah,
I like it
Their
there.
Elsa style is more of a modern children book style, and it really seems to fit with the era of each character. Because you look at the Eeyore, it's really like
it works here. In my mind, it
it's really
works.
more a little bit more hold timey. And when you look at the Negaduck, we're in comic book land from the '90s, like
Yeah.
when that
Again, it
came out.
works. Yeah.
I believe it's just because you haven't seen a lot of children books from like more recent years since Frozen came out,
Probably.
because this is the art style that we see quite a bit, with like a lot of the really sharp edges and almost like paper cutout kind of design.
Yeah, last time I had to interact with with like children literature was about 10 years ago in university.
Yeah, so to me, this like they've done a really good job of going with the children book, and then there's
See, that's
Tamatoa that
That's
that's
really
the
kind of
only
different.
comes
one
out of
that doesn't
nowhere.
fit the
Yeah, he doesn't fit the team at all. It's just
Oops.
Tamatoa.
Poor Joey didn't understand the assignment.
Or on the opposite hand, he knows that the Tamatoa players who want to collect the Tamatoas are not people who like children's book, and he's just like,
Yeah.
we'll give him a bone.
You say that, but actually, the Tamatoa from set 7
It looks like children
is,
booky.
well, Beatrice Blue is one of my favorite uh, illustrator from children's book.
See,
So, and it's one of my favorite art.
It is a really pretty card, not gonna lie.
It's fine.
I like Happy as a Clam
Probably
better.
better in person.
and I think that was the last one because every other
It is the
one
last one, because the other ones were sprinkled
We already looked at.
in.
Yeah.
yeah. And like just coming back on, there was one thing that I think we haven't seen in the reveal is we have the first epic that has an alternate art, which is the Stitch snowboarder, and I would like to see that a lot more, just to add a little value to those epics.
They've said that that's where they want to go towards. I think it's just taking them a bit of time to.
That's fine. That's fine. Like that, the consideration and the possibility is there. I think that's totally fine. Like they heard us off. Like I'm not the only person saying that. I've seen that a lot in like comments and whatnot. Pretty happy
Well,
about
the
it.
investors want that for sure.
Yeah. Well, the investors are not there anymore.
We are all invested.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought it was a super rare, but he's a rare. Okay, I was like, is there's now super rares in that slot? But no.
The super rares are more enchanted-ish, right?
Yeah, I think it's just commons, uncommons, and rares.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think so.
It's mostly that.
All
But
right. So, what's your final take on the set? How excited are you about it? How shaky are you about what it's going to do to the meta? For me, I'm getting some hope back that it's not going to be a third set of purple steel versus blurple with a sprinkle of blue green on top and dogs somewhere in the background.
Well,
I think blue green
no,
gets
it's not going anywhere.
a lot worse. If you want to play blue, I think you have to consider other avenues. We like alluded to blue yellow to blue steel and whatnot.
Yeah. I want to see
blue
red
red.
coming
Blue-red.
back, so red purple and red blue would be nice. Good old
Yeah.
days.
I still think
The more aggro, the more possible it is.
I still think there's also probably some avenue with red and yellow, but I haven't like sat down to look at this. I'm probably gonna start brewing for real on Friday, because I'm doing a big drive to Toronto, and I can finally stop thinking about Magic for a while.
Nice. I think it's close, but I don't think we're quite there. So for the meta myself, I think there's a lot of bad decks that get into at least tier 2, if not like tier 1.5. So a bunch of tools that the non-amethyst, non-dogs, non-green blue decks really needed a big push, and I think we got that. So we should be seeing more diversity.
Yeah.
I think so.
But I'm still afraid that dogs and blurple are still going to be the best decks.
Yeah, I was trying Steel Song this set and it was just okay, but at least now we got better songs, so maybe the Aerial Whisper is gonna be playable. So I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
There's an
Yellow
Ember
Red and Yellow
Steel
Steel.
list. There's an Ember Steel list. My only worry is that probably the aggro aggro-ish or more aggro versions of those lists will be better than the mid-range.
It really depends on the meta, right? I think the mid-range version is better in 2 aggro decks, and then if there's more control decks, then it gets worse. So it
It's
really
gonna
depends
be
on
kind
the
of
texture of the
cyclical.
meta.
The
Yep.
usual
Yeah,
plan.
exactly.
That's good. We need a little bit more of that, I think. But without any major tournament, like there's gonna be Ghent a few weeks into the season, and then not much else for us in North America. So
It's gonna
we'll
be set champs.
follow. Yeah,
A set
we'll,
Shem
we'll,
for
we'll
a
follow
bad
how.
card. Looks good though, but bad card.
Yeah, but the playmat looks pretty good.
Yeah.
People are gonna fight for the mat.
Yeah, I think the way they put the
It's much
champion
better.
Is a lot. It's a lot less.
Looks
tacky.
more
Like,
professional.
yeah.
Very neat.
Well, thank you guys for being here really late tonight. For our audience, we're finishing recording this. It's 1 a.m. So huge thanks to both S4iler and DeVoTeD to sticking
you,
it up
guys.
with us so late. Much appreciated.
That's
Thank
all because
you.
of me. I'm really sorry. It's my
Yeah, it's all
schedule.
his fault. Thanks to you, our audience, for sticking to the end. That's the best thing you can do. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment on the cards that you want to see and you want to play on day one of this set.
Follow the guys
I'm
on their
definitely-
social medias.
Yes, follow, of course, S4iler and DeVoTeD on their socials. We hope you enjoy the set release. It's going to be a great one. If you have the opportunity to go do a seal, do that. It's one of the best events every single set. One of the best ways to experience a new set. And we will see you there and in our live streams. But until then, keep questing.